Thank you, as always, to the great Stone Loki for my wonderful intro out there that he made for me quite some time back. And thank you all who are here. Welcome to Clobberin Times issue number 304 on YouTube, 1004 overall. That's going to feel strange for a while there, saying that part. But welcome everyone, my friends. It is great to be here on a wild card Wednesday night, open geek talk silliness. I got nothing for you other than me, and I know that's not much. Just you and me, kid. But hey, I like to do that once in a while, or just to hang out with some friends and just to talk to you guys because you guys are great to talk to and see what's up with you fellers and of course and ladies, if any ladies. Hopefully, ladies will show up because we like that. But right here with us now, of course, we've got the great Phantom Outsider first up in there. What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling good. The great J-Man. J-Man, dude. Great stream you guys had tonight. J-Man, and those of you who have not, any of you who have not been to J-Man's channel and subscribed, please do so. I think we all have here, but in case you haven't, please do so. And please check out his great streams, especially if you're a comics fan. Well, he does other things too, of course. Actually, he does a lot of other things as well. Tonight, he did a really cool stream with his great buddy Sean, and that was a lot of fun. It was about it was about 90s comics, and so that was cool. J-Man enjoyed it, buddy. Sorry if I distract you guys with all my silliness in the chat. Lots of times I just have to lurk. I don't get a chance to say anything, but sometimes when I have a chance, I do. But anyway, you guys had a great stream, and please, everyone, check that out. And please check out the streams when they're on. They do great stuff over there at J-Man's channel. Snorta Poopus Cube Bird Buddies. What's up, Snorty? You're a good bear. Good to see you, buddy. That great D. Bud Martin, the man of iron. What's up, buddy? Always good to see you, my friend. Hey, the bronze wrencher himself, Eric K. is here, buddy. Always a pleasure to have the great bronze wrencher with us. Good to see you, bro. The extraordinary hungry for the end of coloring books comics. AK, the great hungry boy. What's up, hungry boy? I'm absolutely pleased to see you, my friend. It is fantastic. And we do have a lady. It's always good when a lady pops in. The lovely Louise X. Sparrow. Welcome, my dear. It is good to see you. And yes, Avon lives indeed. Double C, I've not seen you here before. Welcome to the show. It is great to see you, my friend. Welcome to Clobberin Times. This is a wild card Wednesday night where I'm just gonna wild card it up with my buds here. Athena follower, hello there. Welcome. Good to see you. Rogue Disney, hello there. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome, Kal-El, buddy. Super dude indeed. Great to see you. Dave G Sound, hello there. A lot of great people popping in tonight. It's great to see you all. Oh dear. Anyway, well, here you go. But yes, J-Man talked about a fascinating topic tonight, 90s comics, and both J-Man and Sean. Of course, everyone. I was about to say you guys are younger than me. Everyone's younger than me, so pretty much. But it's still interesting because I used to look not so fondly back on the decade of the 90s for comics, and I still compared to subsequent decades, however. And there were a lot of great ones, and I thought that was very interesting what you guys were talking about there. I'm not stealing your thunder or anything, but it'd be cool to talk to you about that sometime again. So that was a cool topic, and everyone, please, again, you should go over there and check their stream out on J-Man's channel. Pat S. Brother, what's up, buddy? Good to see you here on this Wednesday night, wildcard Wednesday night. Show notes, folks. As always, what was I looking for? As always, please please, 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 if you have not already done so, check out the wonderful literary works of my dear first officer and lovely friend and of this channel, friend and just my partner in crime on Saturday Night Star Trek, the amazing R.M. Raquel Briggs, Commander Briggs. There is a link right there, as always. And of course, it's a link in my description below as well. I have a lot of great links in my description below to many wonderful YouTubers and other things down there. If you would check those out. But yes, please go. She does a better job of describing it all than I do. I've just put the link there though and make it available as always because I love her and I hope she does well with it. And she just, if you go on there, definitely leave a review. That really helps. And she's gotten so many wonderful reviews from some of you great people. So, and I do appreciate you taking care of her there. Show notes. What's wrong with this thing? Let's see. Oh, I've got 2 new spinner rack videos. I had to miss a week, but I'm going to catch up. But I've got 2 spinner rack videos coming out tomorrow and the next day. So look out for that. The spinner rack videos are out there, are done and waiting. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. I will drop one. And yeah, so what? Oh yeah. Tomorrow at 4 p.m. and then Friday at 3 p.m. for the 2 spinner rack videos. Hey, Monkey Jeebus, what's up, buddy? And let's see here. Other show note, of course. Clobby's Clubhouse tomorrow night, same Clobby time, same Clobby channel with our great aforementioned First Officer Raquel Briggs and our amazing Chief Engineer, Mark D with the C. We always have so much fun on that. I hope you will all join us. We're doing great with that. And then the Big Tamale. We are having so much fun every Saturday night. What a great bunch of friends that we have joining us on Saturday nights. And for Saturday Night Star Trek. So we've started something over a year ago, and it's going to take a couple of years to do all of it, 66 through 05, but we're going to do it. The 735 Club, as my wonderful first officer calls it. So we have 4 more episodes of Star Trek, The Next Generation, Season 5, Saturday night. And if you haven't been there and you're a Star Trek fan, it's very interactive. We have a great group, a great chat, a great crowd there. And we have a lot of fun. I think you will enjoy it because we certainly do. And who else has popped in here? Great Mark D with the aforementioned. The great Mark D with the C is here, our chief engineer. Good to see you, bro. Athena, let's see, what's your Athena follower says, I just finished reading up on some of 90s DC Metal Men. I think I remember that series. I don't know if I bought that one. I loved it. It had a Fantastic Four type of feel to it. And though the team, even though the team were all metalized machines, I'm a big fan of the Metal Men. I can't remember if I read that series or not, Athena. But I do love the Metal Men. I love the 60s ones. I even love in the 70s when Walt Simonson did it for a short time. Okay, well, cool. Well, there you go. Like I said, I can't remember if I read that one or not. Let's see here what we got going on. I might Mondo Maker. I'm catching up my chat here. Sorry, folks. Kal-El says, sorry I missed your Kingdom Come live stream on Monday, but I'll definitely be watching it on replay. Well, thank you so much. And again, big shout out to the great J-Man. What a time I had. Thanks for reminding me of that. Thanks for reminding me of that, Kal-El. I'm going to tell you what, I had just an absolute blast. I thought it went pretty well. I don't know who else was here or who else was even interested in Kingdom Come, but I had a great time. We went through the whole comic, and we made pretty good time doing it, talking about all of its finer points. And thank you, J-Man, dude. We will do it again on something else, and because it was just I love doing these classic Clobby's classic comics reviews. I knew I would love doing them. This is the third one I've done. The first one was with our good buddy MVP Max Van Priestley. Please check his channel out. He's doing very, very well. He's killing it over there. Max is MVP. We reviewed Alan Moore's Whatever Happened to the Man of Tomorrow earlier this year. And then the great Mark D with the C and I, we reviewed Marvel 2-in-1 Annual number 7, and we had a great time doing that. And now J-Man and I, this past Monday night on Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, reviewed Kingdom Come, and I had a great time and just thoroughly enjoyed it. Now I'm convinced I should have been doing this last year. There were plans to do it last year. You all know why it didn't really take off to get off the ground. But either I'm going to try to do 2 a month, but if it's happened sometimes 1, we'll see. But I'm going to try to do 2 a month. We've got the ones in the future coming up. But let's see here. Pat says, we were talking 2099 issues on J-Man, and FF29 was the original 4 duplicates. Yes, I'm getting... Oh, you're getting KC now? Okay. Oh, great show. Thank you for that, Pat. I appreciate that. Yeah, I never read much of the 2099 stuff myself. Remember, well, the 80s was complicated for me as a comic book reader. I mean, the 80s, the 90s. The 90s were really complicated. But J-Man and Sean made me remember some things that I did really like. But let's see here. Hungry Boy says, oh, best Kingdom Come review. Oh, made you change your mind a lot of it. J-Man kicked butt. He did. Thank you so much. J-Man is amazing. He really is. Oh, thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, man. We had a lot of fun doing that one, man. And by the way, always a big hat tip and ship out. That show would not have been possible, or certainly wouldn't have been turned out the way it did without the great Mark D with the C, the chief engineer. And if just in case we were remiss in mentioning you the other night, dude. So yeah, J-Man, about that. He's watching our good buddy, and we're not spoiling anything here, folks. Our good buddy J-Man is watching one of my all-time favorite shows for his first time. He and his lovely wife. And they're watching Blake 7. And see, some people don't care about spoilery stuff. Some people do. I respect the people who don't want things spoiled, so I don't spoiler. So how do you prepare someone? Like, let's say you know a show, you know everything that happened in it, and you, like a lot of great shows, rough things happen on the show. How do you, and if someone comes along and says, hey, I'm watching it, I like it. Chris Persia, the great master of all that is French Canadian, what's up, buddy? How do you prepare them? You can't prepare them for anything without spoiling things. So I just say, hang in there, J-Man. And again, please, anyone who does know the show, no spoilers in the chat. I'd appreciate that. But yes, I cannot wait. J-Man, I can't wait to talk to you about the episodes. In fact, our wonderful first officer, Raquel, is watching it. She's not too far behind where you are, I think, J-Man. And so she's going to be experiencing a lot of that as well. And I watched the show so much, I can throw any random episode on. And I remember I threw a bunch of 3rd and 4th season ones on last week just for the hell of it. And then when Raquel told me where she was and you told me where you are, I went back and just decided to go ahead and watch in unison with you all. Snail Messiah, what's up, buddy? Good morning, everyone. Hey, Clobby, I finally sent you the comics. I don't know when they'll arrive, but I hope they arrive soon, without being completely bent. Oh, you reminded me of something there. Snail Messiah, thank you so much. You're right, Debble. See, the internet does spoil things. You just don't look at any episode guides of Blake 7 and you'll be okay. Avon lives. He's the greatest character ever. Yeah, in my opinion. But speaking of getting things in the mail, and again, thank you so much, Snail Messiah. Looky what I got in the mail yesterday, folks. This is from, and I don't think she's here right now, but our wonderful friend, Apollome's Minion with the pupper. I'm sure you're all familiar with Apollomy. She makes these wonderful paintings, or these paintings, if you can't call them paintings, I guess, pictures with these beads or something like that. Well, she made this one for me. What about that, huh? How about that? Apollonie's minion is a true artist. Look at that. So this is beautiful. It the frame got a little messed up in shipping. It took forever. And here's one to give you sort of an idea how big this picture is. Those are some big action figures. And I just love it. Yes, Apollonie, what a sweetheart. She didn't have to do that. She's done these for some of the big guys like Gary and Doomcock and all those, and Az and all those guys. I'm nobody and nothing. That she would think to take the time to do that for me. I'm just humbled by it, and I love you, Apollonie. You are a wonderful, sweet lady, and just wow. I don't think it's knitted. It's done with some kind of beads or something. I got to be honest with you. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but not needed. These are beads of some sort. I must admit, I'm a bit sketchy on the process, but I am not worthy of something like this, and so I just am humbled by it. Uh, you know me. I love me some Thing Hulk fights. And those are some pretty big action figures, and they're like, these guys are bigger than us. So, yeah. Um, I must have caught a bit of a cold or something. You have to place each bead on it. Takes a long time. Yes. Well, thank you, Snail Messiah. You were too kind. I don't feel worthy of stuff like this. And these gifts, believe me, they've touched my heart more than any of you could know. But I'm not worthy of them. But I will always appreciate them. And yes, and the Ben Hulk fights are my favorite things, probably one of my favorite things in all of comics. So Apollonie's minion. If well, I've already spoken with her behind the scenes, but next time we all see her, yeah, she's probably out there on the road. I hope you are being safe out there, Apollonie. What a sweetheart. What a sweetheart, huh? That's amazing. So let's see. The comics, classic comics reviews coming up to look forward to, because again, I'm glad people enjoy the enjoy the ones we've done so far. Um, and again, the well will never one could hardly ever run dry because there's so many great ones. I'm trying to decide which one to do next. Mark D, or do you think we ought to go ahead and do Wolverine next? Perhaps here's here are the ones in the planning stage. I would like to do Wolverine maybe next, although I can't, not necessarily, because the last Monday in February will be my will be my annual Superman birthday show. For those who don't know, it's Clobberin Times tradition on the last our last show of February, since Superman's birthday in the comics now, in the comics, is February 29th. Yes, a leap year. I've always made that my day for Superman celebration. Did a big one last year. But no matter what I do, I always want to do a Superman show on that last let me look at the calendar here. Yes, and so the 28th is a Monday, so that's 2 weeks from today. I mean, no. Barely got that cough and sneeze off before I hit the button. I hope I hit the button. Yes, Hungry Boy. It's the Wolverine miniseries by Claremont, Miller, and Rubenstein. Yes. So it's the Monday after next. But on that, so I may have to push it back. Monkey Jeebus, New Frontiers coming soon. And next month, and pretty soon, but Loki and I have got a review coming up of an animated film coming soon. I need to get with him about that tomorrow. But for the Superman special, if I can't get Max to join me to review the Alan Moore's other 2 Superman stories, which is what I wanted to do, and I'm going to check with him about that. If he can make it, fine. If not, it'll be some kind of Superman celebration. So if that happens, and this Monday, I'm not sure what I'm doing, so it may be March, but Wolverine will be next if Mark D is a go for that, and then right after that, why would this start happening right when I'm doing the show? Don't answer that question. I got something about cold, I guess. All of a sudden, I don't know. Right after that, the great Nick Weiser and I will be doing Daredevil Born Again. Greatness, of course. So what I know for sure is March will probably be the 2. Why not make it Miller March, and we'll just do two of his greatest comics, his Wolverine miniseries and Daredevil Born Again. What do you think about that? Yeah, oh yeah, Chris Percy, you're right, absolutely, no question about that. Superman takes precedence overall. So thanks to you guys, you've helped me suss it out. You've actually helped me here. So yes, March will be Miller March, and who knows? I may do more than 2. Maybe I'll do 3. So upcoming, Loki and I, as far as comics reviews, Loki and I review animated, but Loki and I will also be reviewing Batman versus Predator. First one first, and maybe the second one later. I don't know. It just depends. Clobby's Miller time. There you go. Hey, Oliver Belamonte, what you say there, my friend? Clobby, I heard that the Wonder Twins, Zan and Jaina, will be made into a film on HBO Max. I don't know how it'll work, but perhaps it might work wonders on the Peacemaker. You know what? Did you really hear that? Hey, the great Steve Mitchum's here. Hey, buddy, hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you, bro. So, Oliver, did you really hear that? Because I'll believe anything. You could be, jerking my chain right there, and I believe you because it's 2022. So, a Wonder Twins show, I believe it. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, so you could be joking with me, but I mean, I'll believe anything. You can't. We're in an age now where you can't really pull anyone's leg because you go, that sounds like it might happen. I'm not saying you're not serious. I just sounds, I don't know. But hey, look, if it's HBO Max making it, yeah, I don't really care about it anyway. That's still CW by any other name. Athena, it sounded like Patrick Stewart's silly voice to me, and if that's the case, it probably is Professor Xavier, Professor X's voice, I think. Marvin, Wendy, yeah, Wendy and Marvin, Marvin and Wendy. Who knows? So, well, nah, what are you gonna do? So there you go. The Pissmaker will be renewed for a second season. Okay. Are we to the end of Pissmaker yet? Are they? Was it the last one more episode to go? Right. Just curious. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know what it is about Pissmaker. I watch it. I kind of laugh at some of the stuff. It's funny. One more Pissmaker episode. Okay. It's funny. I admit it. Look, I admit it's fun. Look, you got to admit it. Something's funny. It's funny. Okay. One more. Gotcha. Thanks. I think the show's okay. I think what I like most about it is how it denigrates the shitty, garbagey modern DCEU, and it takes place in that same EU that a lot of people take too seriously. So I think that's kind of funny. A century is all? Could be. It's just a habit, Chris Burge. It's just a habit that misnaming things. Heard rumors that an Iron Maiden band are talking with Marvel Comics currently about having some Iron Maiden song themes in either some Marvel movies or Marvel issues. See, I kind of like that myself, J-Man. I shouldn't like it, but I kind of do. And I think what that means is look, James Gunn is really he's kind of a one-trick writer. Everybody talks the same, everyone acts the same, and his whole point is to be as either over the top silly as he can be and over the top, quote unquote, offensive as he can be. I'm not offended, by the way. I'm just saying he's trying to be raunchy. He's a shock writer. Same problem I have with Peacemaker. Really, Peacemaker beats Blue Beetle in question to live action. Yeah, I mean that's terrible. This should be for Peacemaker to be the first the first of those Charlton characters to get into live action is crazy. But what about Brightburn? Then I've not watched Brightburn. I know other people have watched it. I hear to me it looked like Maximortal or something like that, and I never was big on Maximortal. By Rick Veitch or whatever it was who did that, but I Snort a Poopa says, you mean you'll be hearing Pissmaker? Oh, come on now. I'm sure that won't happen. I'm sorry, Snorty. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, Ollie. I'm sorry. But yes, so it's again, but it's cheap. It's cheap. It's gutter stuff. It's really kind of a, and yet it's funny. And yet it's funny. It was that issue of Miracle Man, Clobberin, just warning you. Oh, I know. Well, it just depends on which issue of Miracle Man you're talking about, Hungry Man. Oh, that one. Oh, that one. I saw Brightburn. Skip it, Clobby. I do like gore, but it was very generic. See, I hate here's me on gore. I don't like it. Actually, I hate it, but it's not from a standpoint of being scared of it or being queasy. I just think it's cheap and unnecessary. I mean, yeah, after a while, it's disgusting, but I don't care. I mean, I can be disgusted and live with it. I mean, I could see it gushing all over the place, but I'm like, really, who needs it? Other than being disgusting, it's just not like it's offensive. It's just, I can't stand it. Gore in movies, it aggravates me because it's an absence of intelligence and artistic endeavor to me. It's just really, it means you're bankrupt if you have to have too much gore shit. And I don't understand why people want to see gore. I don't get why you like to see it. It's not like I watch it and go, oh my God, I'm queasy. I'm going to have a heart attack. I'm going to throw up. No, I just see it and go, why? But that's just me. I know a lot of people like it. I'm not a Fangoria guy. What can I tell you? Let's see here. Back up the chat a little bit. I don't agree that it's generic, but I do agree in the essence of your point, says Hungry Boy to J-Man there. Pissmaker knows how to stay in its lane and it delivers. Plus, they have Eagly. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Well, I mean, again, it's a good show. It's pretty cheap. It's cheap in the sense that he just goes for the cheap laugh, which is all fine and good. It's nothing. It's not hurting anybody, and in fact, that it pisses off a lot of people is kind of funny in itself for me. Goodbye. Yes, Oliver, that's true. This has been mentioned. Ivan Reitman. Clobberin Times salutes one of the greatest filmmakers of them all. One of the great directors. He did done so many things. I think the first thing I ever saw by him at the theater was Meatballs. I love Stripes. And how can you top Stripes except with Ghostbusters 84? That's the only way you can. And I love Ghostbusters, of course. And yeah, Twins is good. I have not watched Dave for certain reasons, but yeah. I like James Gunn, says Monkey Jeebus. Anyone who's cool with Uncle Lloyd is okay with me. I assume you're referring to Lloyd Kaufman of Trauma Studios there, Monkey. Am I right? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe you're talking about somebody else. Right, but Gunn should have replaced graphic gore with the scary cerebral horror of 60s Outer Limits. Yeah. I'm with you there. Trevor Cunningham, hello there. I'd love a Ghost Rider set in the 70s when the comics started. The height of motorcycle stunt shows and Hell Drivers tours. Trevor, that's a good idea. And that's true. Pat S makes a good point. I like Invincible, and it's gory and disgusting. And that's the thing I like least about it. And that's the thing that almost puts me off not to read it in the case when it was a comic book and now to watch it. Even more horrible to watch. But it's still, because I'd read the comic and put up with it, even though I think the comics, the animated is overdoes it a much. I watch it. Like I say, see, life is full of contradictions, man. I mean, multiple things can be true at the same time. I could go, that's not something I would choose to do, but I got to admit it's good or it's interesting. And I do like Invincible. I read the comic. But you are absolutely right, Pat S. It is a contradiction that I'm willing to fully admit to, and I have plenty of contradictions. Like I'll go, I don't know. There's no reason why I should like fill in the blank, but I like it. I don't know why, but I do. Or sometimes, you think that would be right up my alley, but I don't like it. That does happen with me a lot. Maybe not. I don't know if it happens with the rest of you that much, but it does with me. Cardinal Sin. Thank you so much, Cardinal Sin, for the 1999 Super Chat. Hail, Clobby, and another great show. Well, hail to you, and it is great to see you, sir. I hope you're doing well, Gil. Thank you for that. You are too kind, my friend. It is always an honor to see you here. Thank you. Thank you. J-Man says Pissmaker gets a season 2, but no Man of Steel season or episode movie 2. That proves even Pissmaker is better than Man of Steel. Yes. I corrected your spelling, so you're fine. Yeah, buddy. Any chance to beat up on Man of Steel, I'm there. You don't have to throw me an invite twice. Trauma. I remember Toxic Avenger. Somehow I figure you for a Toxic Avenger kind of guy there, J-Man. I don't know why. Snail Messiah says Ghostbusters 2016 beats them all, both as a creative work, but also as a blah. I'm sorry, I just couldn't keep the joke going. Yeah, that's a tough one to sustain. Sustain there. I realize that. Andy Masterson, what's up, bud? Hello there, my friend. Good to see you. Welcome. I hope you're doing well tonight, buddy. Yeah, Citizen Toxie. Oh dear. Every time you see John Cena, you're going to think Pissmaker. Well, we provide a service here. It's an important service. A service that is as important. But the service is so important that it's important. Okay, I don't have a good reason for it to be important. I'm just saying it is. Do I need a reason? Can I just say stuff? This is what we do. It's the internet. We just say things. We don't have to have a reason behind anything, do we? Come on. It's very important to point out the reasoning behind this important reason I have for these things. And my reason is this. I reason that is a very good reason to be reasoning stuff for something. But that's my reason that it's important. I didn't know why. But yes. So, who likes... I don't know what... I know Mark likes that opening of Pissmaker. What's that? Oh yeah, I can't. Oh, thank you. I'm being a complete idiot by trying to do stuff like that. I don't know what happened when I woke up this morning. The world was about to get a blessing, and my voice is by taking my voice away. So I don't know. But I better watch my Talons of Wing Chiang. Well, you want a confession, Pat S? Okay. Get ready with as Raquel calls it, with the fruit to throw at me. If any of you tell on me to Raquel, I'm going to deny it and say you're all lying now. I'm going to say, they're lying, Raquel. They made it up. Because she's going to hit me when she hears this. I hated the hell out of P. Hard, as you all know, but I did watch the whole thing. And I probably will watch the first episode. Because it'll be free. I won't pay a dime to watch the garbage. But I will actually probably watch the first episode of P. Hard out of sick curiosity. But you all have to keep that a secret. Raquel, if you're here listening and lurking, you didn't hear that. And I love you. Yeah. Yeah, my shins will be kicked to the pieces. Oh, but I will watch it. Just P. Hard is that piece of crap Picard show. J-Man, that show that disgraces Jean-Luc Picard with that horrible first season and second season. Louis Sparrow says, I watched 3 seasons of STD. I'm not touching Picard. I don't blame you. Look, don't. I'm not going to blame you one bit. I was dumb enough to sit through the whole season of Picard, and it's horrible. Oh, get holier than thou all of a sudden there, J-Man. Oh, Picard, even I won't watch that. I love it. Wow, way to just step on a guy's face, man. Oh, shite. But look, yeah, J-Man, hey, look, I don't blame you. It's horrible. I mean, I only sat through like most of the first season of STD, and I couldn't do any more after that. But I'll, in all seriousness, Pat, I'll probably tell her, and I'll just suffer. You mean you are number one? Yes, I really am number one. Steve, Clobberin, I'm judging you 6 ways to Sunday. Well, I don't blame you. I deserve the judgment. J25, hello there. Yep. medically unfit for command as captain. I'm in trouble now. We're gonna do it's gonna be like the Deadly Gears. Raquel is gonna have to call for a competency hearing, and she will be Spock. Who's gonna be Commodore Stalker in this scenario? Oh yes. Athena Fowler says, I watched Relics episode, Next Generation the other night ago. It was cool to see Scotty again. Sadly, he died in real life shortly after. Actually, he died way after that episode was aired. He died around 2005, I think, Athena, if I remember right. But I love that episode. I think it should have been longer. Should have been a two-parter, but I really enjoyed it. But didn't Jimmy Doohan die in like 2005 or something? Pretty sure. So he hung on for a little bit after that one, Athena. But yes, I'm with you. I really do love that episode, even though, like I said, I wanted more. I wanted a two-parter out of that one, if that's my only really complaint about it. Snorty says, I've never seen STD, P Hard, or anything else of that ilk. The 2009 Jar Jar direct filth was enough, said from a place of ultimate moral superiority. Well, I'm with you, sir. You were absolutely the smartest of all, because I sat through all three of those garbage Jar Jar Abrams filthy movies, and I sat through about, like I said, maybe 8 or 9 episodes of STD before I learned my lesson. And then I was trying to give it a shot so I could review it. Then I realized I'm not reviewing this. Nobody wants to hear me review this shit, so I didn't do it. And then I watched all of P Hard out of maybe curiosity, because it was actually him reprising his role. And yeah. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Kalel. So, yeah, look, Snorty, good on you. None of that's real Star Trek. The Star Trek in name only. Steino. Clobby, DC will press the reset button again for their event 2022, Dark Crisis. Guess they're out of ideas nowadays. I think they've been out of ideas since the Screw 52, buddy. But I hear you. Thank you, Oliver. Do you think it was possible that the Jar Jar crowd was unaware of the STD inference? I'm not sure what he's referring to. What you referring to there, Hungry Boy? Next Generation episode. That Next Generation episode ends with Picard giving Scotty an Enterprise shuttle, and Scotty leaves, but it never says where he went. No, it doesn't. He did pop up in the Kirk books. Did anyone read any of those Kirk books that take place after in Picard's time when Kirk's revived? That's right. In fact, there you go. Pat S is mentioning it. They had a ship. They, in those Kirk books, they painted a Defiant class ship black and called it the Avenger, which I thought was kind of cool. I like those Kirk books. They may not count as canon for some people, but hey, Kirk shouldn't have died, and it was stupid. What they did to Kirk was so stupid in Generations. He shouldn't have been dead. I watched part of episode of the STD. I couldn't get enough season episode 1. Blah blah blah. Yeah, well, I hear you there, Phantom. Oh yeah, Trevor Cunningham, Red Letter Media's takedown of STD, and especially their takedown of P Hard, is so great. I would recommend to anyone who's a Trek fan, if you can find Red Letter Media's Picard review, what it's an hour and a half, whatever it was, even if you don't, you should watch it all. It's really good. But the last like 10, 15 minutes of it, when they go through, when they sum everything up, and they show one of the biggest reasons why this show is so horrible, and how the horrible damage that it heaped upon the Star Trek, fandom and the lore and all that stuff. It's touching. It's so thought provoking. It's brilliant, and every jackass at Bad Reboot and a Secret Outhouse should be forced to watch that Red Letter Media Picard review. Well, their Picard review was had jokes in it, but they had a very touching last 10 minutes. I thought. Cavatino Cavatamanche, what's up? Good to see you, my friend. Kirk is not dead. He's still alive in the Nexus. There you go. There you go. Red Letter Media and Critical Drinker critiques are the only material I've seen of it. Well, those are great ones. We're still waiting on Gary's Picard review. Maybe he'll have it out before the show comes out. I will watch it. A lot of people like to tease Gary about that, but I'm whenever he wants to make it, I'll watch it. Let's see here. Cardinal Sin with a $4.99 super chat. Did you ever read the comics version of The Boys? No, Gil, I never read it. I'm not a big fan of deconstructionist takes on superheroes. There's some great ones I've loved, like Watchmen and a few others that I thought were pretty good. I never got into that comic, and I never watched the show, and I never have any intention of doing either. It's just not my thing. I'm not into superheroes for that kind of stuff. So I did not. I mean, I've seen it before, and I have many friends that I respect that like it, which is fine, but it was just never for me. And I've really gotten sick of deconstructionist, nihilistic superhero takes. So it's just not my bag. People looking for different things, Gil, but that's just me. I would. That's not like I'm not recommending it to you, because a lot of people think it's a very good comic. You might like it, if you haven't read it. So. All right, Jay Man, thanks for being here, bro. Again, great stream you did tonight, and thanks again for Monday night. I had a great time doing some Kingdom Come with you there, brother. Hey, let's see, Zark. How do you say that? Do I say it? Zakarat. How do you say that? Give me an idea how you say that. 315. I hate to butcher it. Zakarat 315. I apologize if I'm getting it incorrectly. You could correct me on that. But welcome to Clobberin Times. I am honored to see you pop in. Thank you so much. Great to see you there. So let's see here. Phantom says, but Clobberin Times, it's no secret. It's a fan club. It's a club-footed reboot of extraordinarily bad robot bad reboot is what I call them. Lack the comprehension ability to appreciate anything more than monosyllabic sentences. I'm with you. You don't have to sell me. No, I get it. By the time The Boys came out, Cardinal, I'd had my fill of deconstructionist comics. And so I just wasn't buying anything like that. Zakarat then. How about Zakarat? Let me know if that works, because I'm seeing the T there. So Zakarat's 315. It is a pleasure to see you, sir. And I'm sorry if I messed that up. It was weird. The Next Generation episode that mentioned Kirk, that the other officers from the Constitution class Enterprise went on with their life as if Kirk's death meant nothing. It was weird. The Next Generation episodes that mentioned Kirk, that the other officers from the Constitution class Enterprise went on with their life as if Kirk's death meant nothing. I'm not sure I follow you on that, Athena. If you could, but I'd be happy to see if you want to clear that up. Let's see here. Zakarat, indeed. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Sorry, I had my chat suspended there. Suspended animation for a second. There you go. Well, anyway, So if you could clarify that for me, and Athena, I'd love to address it for you. And anybody who has anything to say, oh, I try to catch everything that I can. Uh, I was done with deconstructionist comics after the martial law by Epic. It did all which needed to be done. Yes, we talked about martial law a couple of weeks ago. I liked it, but I'm so with you there, Hungry Boy. I mean, and look, I love Watchmen, but I don't need. I think there's some great deconstructionist comics. I just don't think we need it all the time, and need it as often as we guess we've gotten it. Really, because it can be really good. Athena says Spock bones Scotty after they found out about what happened to Kirk. They kept going on with their normal lives as if nothing had happened at all. Well, I don't know I don't know that they did or not. There's never where has it been chronicled? I'm not sure that it's been ever chronicled, so I don't know. I mean, obviously, that was the big contradiction with Relics. Relics, which I loved, takes place before Generations. It has a completely contradictory bit where, obviously, because they didn't know they were going to be killing Jim Kirk and that Scotty was going to be there when he dies. So, Scotty says, I bet Jim Kirk pulled her out of mothballs to come. When he says the Enterprise, I bet Jim Kirk himself pulled her out of mothballs to come save me or whatever. So, a few years later, they do Generations, and it completely contradicts that. See, the only reference to Kirk, as if he's still alive, was Relics, right? Because it was a contradiction, Snorty. They just came on because they used to contradict themselves all the time, and that was a major one. Because Rick Pee Wee Berman, as a friend of mine used to call him, could be a real dumbass sometimes. I know he did some good stuff too, but that was really a shame. So it's just a flat out contradiction. You're right about that, Athena. I'm surprised no one is talking about Vox Machina. It seems like something most people would like. I don't know that one. I got to admit, I can hardly speak on it myself, Louise, because I'm not familiar with it. But you could definitely tell us about it. Hungry Boy says there are a few cases of positive deconstruction in comics. Black Orchid by Gaiman McKean. I remember that one. Interesting art. Was the best, but Blue Hairs don't like positive aspiration. I remember that comic very well. I think I bought it, in fact. Cardinal Sin for a $20 super chat. No, you're too kind there, Gil. Thank you so much. Says, no, I get it. I do. It's not Man of Stool. Sorry, I'm not capable of finishing that sentence with man of without saying stool. It's just a speech impediment of mine. It's really tongue-in-cheek, very intelligent, witty, fun stuff. I guess in the same way South Park or punk rock is, the really good stuff, black humor, but very funny. Well, you're not the by any stretch of the imagination, Gil, the only person that I know whom I admire that likes the comic a lot. Captain Marty Spock, what's up, buddy? So good to see you, my friend. So I believe you, buddy, because again, you're not the only person I know that likes it. It's a very well liked comic and very well reviewed comic that many people do enjoy. No question about it. Athena follower, Spock told Picard, you were just as stubborn as another captain of the Enterprise that I once knew. Yeah, but that's like 80 something years later. I mean, that's not, see, that doesn't contradict anything the way Relics did, the way, because even when they wrote that one, that's another one where they didn't know they were going to kill Kirk when that was written. They didn't know they would be killing Kirk in a movie 3 years later or whatever it was. But it's the fact that they went ahead and did that stupid stuff in Generations. They shouldn't have killed Kirk in Generations. Flat simple. I think some fans tried to deal with that. Scotty's memory of Kirk's death was affected by being held in transporter buffer. Yeah, it's weak. I'm with you, Snorty. It's weak. Pat S. I like Watchmen. I loved Rorschach. Rorschach got me into the question, and the question's voice from Justice League Unlimited sounds like The blue guy from Enterprise. That's because he is, as you know, the great Jeffrey Combs. Good one, Steve. Cowboy diplomacy. Let's see here. Color book. Let's see. I'm trying to find some other ones. Well, yeah. I mean, look, there's no two ways about it. It was a contradiction, but it's not the first time. See, unfortunately, there have been many times in Star Trek itself, and because comics used to do this too, but where they just ignored their own previous continuity, if you will, and just to screw it, just because they felt like it. Yeah, I'm with you, Athena. Cardinalson says, I saw the Watchmen film before the comics, and I know, hate me. I prefer the ending of the film to the comic. Well, we just have to, I guess I now have no choice but to hate you. Gil, I hate you. Here I was. I loved you, man, like a brother, and now you're making me hate you. And now I just can't stand the sight of you, brother. Nah, man, look, I love you, buddy. And I'll just tell you this. I do hate the ending of the movie and love the comic, but I'm pretty old. And I've learned how to cope with different opinions. I can take them, but not easy now. And it's true. I might sneak into your house one night and put your hand in a bowl of water, so you wake up and wee wee all over yourself, or might, I don't know, pull some other like really mean jokes on you when you're not looking. But other than that, I forgive you. I forgive you for liking it. Now, Gil, dude, it's all cool, man. A lot of people like it. I hate that. I hate the movie ending with a passion, but what can you do? All opinions are welcome here. Except it's Mark D with a C. He's run out of his opinion. He's got to agree with you on everything because he's the chief engineer. And that's just the way it works for him. That's how we roll around here. Up in here. That's how we roll up in here, bro. Yeah, Generations sucks. Yeah, Generations really does suck. And yes, I agree with you on that. See, we agree again. We're back together there, Cardinal. I love Jeffrey Combs. That guy's fantastic. Captain Spock wants to make me twist my tongue with a can't really compare the film to the comic. Transmedia, canonical, verisimilitude, and all that. Yeah, you can't, but you can if you feel like. I mean, you're right. I see what you mean about comparing things. But all I can say is I can still prefer one of the endings over the other. Yeah, you're on the shit list, buddy. I'm gunning for you. Why I oughta. Oh, yeah. I can't wait till we get to. We're not that super far off from reviewing Gibberations, and we're gonna. Oh man, you know who hates Generations is Doomcock. In fact, I can't say he hates it. Doomcock said he's never watched it. He refused to watch it. My old buddy Doomcock, he won't watch Generations. If I'm recalling correctly, he said he's not watched it and they would never watch it because of what they did to Kirk. And, I guess I can't blame him. It's really stupid. I mean, I've watched it plenty of times, but there's still some good Kirk scenes in it, but yeah. Don't listen to him, Cardinal Sin. I loved Thor Ragnarok until Clobberin Times explained why I was wrong. No, you can't uptake the pill to go back to the Matrix. No, I never said you were wrong. No one's ever wrong. It's just an opinion and a taste thing, man. I actually like Thor Ragnarok in some of it, but there's some things that piss me off in it. Overall, Thor Ragnarok didn't survive the smell test. After watching it a few times, I really liked it at first, and then I started seeing so many things I hate about it. Usually, I'll tell you this about when it comes to changing my mind on movies. This is just me. I don't know if any of you all have seen it this way. But there have been a few times when I've almost flip flopped on a movie but almost every time it was a movie that I didn't like much at first, and I really, really liked it later. Thor Ragnarok's one of the few where I liked it a lot, and then as time went on, I liked it less. I just started to really dislike it. And now I really dislike Thor Ragnarok in a lot of ways. I understand there's still some entertaining bits, but for the most part, I won't waver on Highlander 2. No one will. Everyone hates that. And by the way, our buddy J-Man, we pick on him about that. He's never seen the theatrical version. We're going to make him watch that. Yeah. Oliver Belamonte says, any say on the second Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness trailer? It didn't do anything for me personally. I'll put it to you like this, Oliver. For me, I'll go in with the deflectors up double front because I like Sam Raimi. I'm not too keen on some of the things. Yeah, the second trailer, the only thing I didn't like seeing was America Chavez being in there. Not fond of that character. I think we've seen a few indications in this trailer that it's going to be the women saving everything, and it's going to be Doctor Strange is going to be an idiot, and all the men will be stupid because it's the MCU. It looks like further confirmation of MCU to me. However, that's just, again, that's speculation on my part. I will watch it because I do like Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. I like Sam Raimi sometimes. I'm willing to give that one a shot, if you see what I'm saying. But I'll go in with the deflectors up double front. Eric K says Thor Ragnarok sucked ass. Hela is Loki's daughter. Yes, thank you. The God of Thunder does not get a shock and drop like a limp noodle. He was cucked. Yep, that was Takiti Woke Titty. Is not, he's a lot like James Gunn, all shock stuff, all blah ha ha all the time, and he'll sacrifice. And he's even said, "I'll destroy your mythos in a minute, baby," in a heartbeat. But he doesn't care because he just cares about his little guffaws and his laughs. I'm not impressed. James Gunn can make some fun stuff, but at least James Gunn you can see likes comics, even though he's done some dumb shit with some of the characters. Whereas Taika Kitty boy doesn't even like comics. Andy says, I was glad to see Thor at accurate power levels, but he wasn't Thor. Yeah, the Hulk thing the Hulk Thor fight was fun. Clobberin times, I'll have you know that I had long box after long box of comics and collected Jack Kirby and Chris Claremont and John Byrne, and I am totally kidding. I mean, I did collect all of that. Hey, glad to hear it, buddy. Glad to hear it, Card. And you know what? I believe you. I would believe you. Don't be silly, man. I believe anything you tell me, brother. 2020 hindsight is not the friend of comics enthusiasts that you've said. That's for sure. That is for sure, Hungry Boy. Yes, Apollomy is awesome. You saw that? Oh yes, all right. I sent you. I already forgot I sent you the picture there, Steve. Yeah. Not a fan of either trailer. Is Hungry Boy? Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, nothing to be sorry about, Eric. Thank you for the $5 super chat, buddy. You didn't have to do that. And sorry, Clobby. Thor Ragnarok is one of the few things that trigger me. Well, hey, trigger away, brother. I don't blame you one bit, man. Anyone wants to be triggered. Clobberin times on Wednesday nights. Open Geek is the way to do it. You want to be triggered and you want to come here and have me, yell for you. You got it. This is the place to clobber, friends. Pat S says, I didn't say you said I was wrong, but when you said what you said, I saw the holes in. Okay, I can't turn a blind eye to the truth. Oh, I'm sorry. Still, I don't like to piss in anyone's cornflakes, if you know what I mean. Well, that's not true. I would piss in Alex Klutzman's cornflakes and Hack Snyder's and Jar Jar Abrams. I would do all kind of disgusting crap to their cornflakes, but let's just not be too more disgusting anymore. Kello says, I love the Starfleet uniforms that First Contact introduced. It's my favorite version of the Starfleet uniform to date. So you like the gray ones, huh? That was the gray ones, right? Is that what we're... I'm not sure I like the gray ones that much, to be honest with you. They were okay. I don't hate them or anything. Kid playing Adam Warlock in Guardians 3 is getting into shape. God No Sen says, I got really fired up for the movie from the trailer, and I still haven't seen much SMNWH. Come on. If you didn't like the Doctor Strange trailer, you don't have a pulse. Checking pulse now. Let's see here. Now, I presume you made the new Doctor Strange. Let's see. Oh, my God. Let's see. Oh, my God. Everyone? Cardinal's right. I'm checking now. I don't have a pulse. Is that normal? Aren't you supposed to have one? You guys let me know in the chat because, damn, thank you so much for that, the Cardinal. I appreciate it, buddy. You're too kind, my friend. You guys, could you go Google for me to see if not having a pulse is normal? Simonson run, indeed. Steve, you should do a comic book review with me. We should review the Simonson run. If you want to see Clobberin Times and Mark D's review of Doctor Strange trailer, watch Sunday Night's Sunday Night Geek Review. Oh, did we talk about that? I forgot, Pat. Trigger man. Mark D, what you doing tonight, dude? Are you busy? You going to sleep or what? I'll let you decide. No pressure. Just if you feel like it, dude. Let's see here. I love 70s and 80s and 90s X-Men. Lots of great storylines. I got out of X-Men right after the House of M storyline. You're not alone there, Athena follower. I was never the biggest X-Men guy, but I liked them in the 70s and 80s, and then somewhere in the mid-80s, I kind of got out of them a little bit. Now, our buddy J-Man, he's the X-Men extraordinaire. He's the X-Men expert extraordinaire. He's got them all, and I mean all. See, not having a pulse is perfectly normal for the undead. Well, okay, there you go. As long as it's normal for somebody. Or maybe I checked in the wrong place. Sorry. Anything's better than those one-piece uniforms and that the Enterprise crew had in Star Trek: The Motion Picture. You don't like the pajamas, eh? You know what? I guess I grew kind of fond of the motion picture uniforms myself, but I know a lot of people don't like them. See, the Wrath of Khan uniforms were okay, but I wish they'd had a color scheme. I mean, we've seen people color those. Like Photoshop them. I wish they had that, but the same color scheme as the original series had. So on Next Generation, they went back to having a color scheme for the Starfleet, which I kind of like, even if it was different. You're not alone in that. Louisa X Barrow, you'd be surprised how many people, maybe you wouldn't be surprised, have said that. They really love the 90s X-Men cartoon. And that was really a great opening theme. That's one of the great opening themes ever. My take on the X-Men, the Fox animated X-Men cartoon, again, like I said, love that opening theme. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, at that time, they put a bunch of X-Men in there that I didn't really care about. I'm sorry. I don't like Gambit. I don't like Jubilee. Just don't like them. That said, it's a pretty good cartoon. They adapted some comic stories, not always perfectly, for me anyway. Excuse me. But it was a good show. And, yeah, it's classic. I mean, I haven't watched them in a long time. I thought about going back and trying to binge them again. I watched the first couple a few months ago. I went just threw them on for the hell of it. So I might go back and revisit that a little bit and just watch some of those. For the fun of it. Let's see. What? Oh, everyone was wearing red with the Star Trek 2 through Star Trek 6 movies. No wonder so many Starfleet crewmen died. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why they had to go all one color. It's kind of boring, isn't it? I don't want to sound like a fashionista or anything, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But I still love the original series uniforms the best. Always will. Like the Enterprise, you like the episode where Logan pined away for Gene. So basically, I like the whole series. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Pat. But it's a very popular show. I mean, it's huge. And a lot of people did find the X-Men that way. Of course, for those who don't know, I did a video with our fantastic friends, Retro Blasting Friends. There's a link in my chat below about Pride of the X-Men, the video game, and the pilot that was for the original cartoon that got changed. That talked about that extensively. It's a great video that talked about not only that, but it also talked about the cartoon and the figures. It's a great video that's made by my great friend Michael French. I helped him out with it, and you should check that out. It's really damn cool, especially if you're a fan of that old X-Men cartoon. And that theme. What's up, dude?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
I just thought see how you're doing. If you're busy or not, what's going on?
Well, I should always be busy, right?
You should.
Right? We all shouldn't be having fun and hanging out. We should be doing work or, some kind of home repair project or
yes, you should.
Putting away the Christmas ornaments that I'm in trouble for not getting down so far finishing. Yeah. Believe it or not, my ornaments are still up half of the tree. So we have an artificial tree. So
but you need to get back on that. It's only February.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
You've seen my tree with all the crazy ornaments. So yeah, my wife puts up with me, thank God. So she's like, that's it. It's got to come down.
So. The Cardinal Sin for $4.99. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. You were too kind. It says, not much beats 80s X-Men comics. They were a really good run for a good while there. Absolutely, Cardinal. Especially for me, the Claremont Cockrum, the Claremont Byrne run in particular, the ones I like the most about it. Not as much later. Let's see.
Yeah, 94 to like around 200 or 150, I guess.
Well, yeah, for me, I think I dropped it right around in the 250s. I bought it for a while though, and then maybe like 270s. I kind of bought it. Then I think I went back when Paul Smith did it for a while. I liked the Barry Windsor Smith, but I hated Punk Storm, and they started doing some stuff I didn't like, and I just kind of lost. Yeah. I left a lot of superhero comics around that time because a lot of them were getting hacky, and they were doing a lot of the best comics coming out were the non-superhero stuff for the most part. Kalel says, I never had a problem with any of the Starfleet uniforms, not even the ones in TMP. Me either. But my favorite Starfleet uniform to date are the ones introduced in First Contact. I got you. That continued into Deep Space Nine.
I could see that. I mean, I could see that. Yeah, that's
you like the gray ones.
It's a good look. The gray ones. It's a good look. I mean, I think my least favorite is probably TNG first season. Even though Patty Stu was complaining, I got to say, I think adding the collar did look better. Some people might disagree, but it just made it look a little bit more military. And of course, then they had the movie era, the Wrath of Khan era uniforms, and they forgot to wear undershirts, where they lost them.
And some of those later, yeah. I don't know. That was weird.
It's like what happened there?
I don't know. It was kind of strange. Athena says, would have been amazing and awesome if the 90s X-Men show had been like Justice League Unlimited show that anyone and everyone was part of the team. That would have been cool. I mean, if who knows, if they'd have got a chance to go longer. Cardinal Sin, thank you again, buddy, for the $4.99 super chat. You're too kind. Says Clobby, what did you think of the X-Men movies? 12, 1 and I think he means 1, 2, and 3 in particular. I don't think he means 12 and 3 in particular. So, Didn't like the first one a whole lot. I went Cardinal. I'm not big fan of the X-Men movies per se, to be perfectly honest with you. I think they're very more minimalist and not comic bookish enough for my taste. So didn't like the first one much. I thought the second one is a pretty fairly well made, good. It's a good movie, but it's still just not something I really liked a whole lot. I know some people call it like Wrath of Khan because it was sort of like that in some ways, as far as with relations to the X Men movies. And I thought 3 was pretty bad, which was a shame because one good thing about it was Kelsey Grammer as the Beast.
He was good in that. Yep.
And after that, I've watched most of them, but I think I missed a couple. I never cared that much. I never really watched. I've seen most of them, but I've missed a few because just I don't really like the movie take on the X Men that much personally, Gil. So none of them ever did much for me. I never bought one of them or anything. I just never really got into what they were doing. I'm more of a I want to see these characters be more like the comic book characters. And yes, they had that line. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? So the only
Yes.
choice is yellow spandex or a stupid black motocross outfit. Anything's better than those stupid black outfits they had that looked like they were boring. And then in the comic, they started using those stupid things.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Well, at least they've moved away from that now in the movies.
Well,
for
yeah,
the most part.
but for a short time
like,
in the comic, they put it in there.
yeah, well, that was the theory. Yeah, that you couldn't have, no one could do comic book costumes. But I did like the X-Men first movie. I mean, it's got its flaws, but Hugh Jackman was. You could tell he was going to be a star. The guy when you first saw him, at least in my opinion. Cool. I saw him on screen. I'm like, this guy is good. And Dougray Scott, who's stuck in Batwoman now, is a good actor. But I just don't think he could have pulled it off anywhere near the way Jackman did. Although, when you think about it, he was a song and dance man, but he look at the way he worked out, and he had a great range, and although he's too tall, I did like, there were a lot of things I liked about that first movie. Well, plus it was just so exciting to see like a actual comic book movie after Superman and Batman, coming back to the screen. So there's a big gap in between there before, what was
Jackman's better than any movie he's in. I mean, him as Wolverine is better than any movie that he's in.
Yeah, the Wolverine, when they did the miniseries, they were close, but then even that they screwed up the ending, and they didn't like the scene where Wolverine, hunts down the guy that killed the bear, or shot the bear, but not finished him off. The bear had rabies. I'm trying to remember, they changed some key details in it, and just like wrecked that. Because that opening scene in the comic is just so well done, where he's chasing down the poacher, the hunter, and he's got to put the bear out of its misery, the grizzly bear. Sorry, Snortopoopus, but
sorry, Snorty.
But they it's a cousin, but they really just missed. Like, it was good, it was just almost it's like it's almost there, they almost got it, but then they didn't stick the landing. But
yeah, and the thing is, see, I didn't like. I didn't even. Everyone says how good First Class is. I never really sat through it because at that time I didn't care, and I got dragged. I forgot why, but I ended up watching Days of Future Past, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I got the road
one time, didn't care about it.
I got the road cut on Blu-ray, and it's actually made some changes and had some improvement. I think. I don't know. I'm just such a softy too, and I bought have the original comics and read them, and some just seeing it on the screen sometimes it just it's like, oh, I can't believe they're actually making this, and maybe I'm not always as objective, but I think the road cut fixed a few things and made some improvements. It's not, it's and First Class was good too. They're just not. There's no huge home runs, I think, except probably for the second X-Men, and the first one is the excitement of seeing a lot of it's just seeing the movie and the character. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing Wolverine on screen. So that always, right when you see it, that always ups the movie a few points when it shouldn't, but it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at that time, when that first one came out, it was okay because it was better than anything we were seeing at that point. But it's still kind of, I don't know.
Well, they kind of disavowed the whole superhero movement too, right? With the costume line, mentioned. And
making fun of spandex. It's like, whatever. Yeah. No one. It doesn't have to be spandex, does it? But yeah.
Well, what was the last superhero movie before? There's obviously
Blade.
Superman and Blade, right? But
At that
what,
point, it was pretty much Blade. I mean, there wasn't really
right?
anything coming
After
on
Batman, right?
around
After,
that time. Okay, you got Blade. I love the Phantom. That came
yeah,
out. But there weren't any superhero movies.
right? Yeah, there was a big drought
Not
there. Yeah,
much.
hard to believe, right? That's what I'm trying to remember. Yeah, what?
No, Spawn. If you call that
Yeah,
it, he's not a superhero.
yeah, and that
I
was
know I'm gonna get in trouble with the spawners there. Sorry,
yeah,
but yeah. So no, none of it wasn't really my bag. It's fine. People like them, but so yeah, when it comes to superhero movies, right after that though, right after X-Men, they really got outclassed by the Spider-Man movies. Whether you like them or not, you had two movies there where a guy looked like Spider-Man and was moving around like Spider-Man. Those movies. Oh, well, yeah, Cardinal Sin, 1978 Superman's the greatest ever, in my opinion. But see, those two movies, those two Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, upped the game for everybody, in my
yeah.
opinion, because this was what some people don't like them. I like them, but I mean, and I really like the second one better, I think. But my point about that is, when I went in there, I didn't expect to see him actually moving around like Spider-Man does. I thought that wouldn't.
Good CGI.
I thought we weren't going to get that in a live-action movie ever.
Yep.
I'm thinking, okay, I'm kind of curious how they're going to make Spider-Man work in a movie. I'm not, we've never seen it live action other than the Electric Company and Nicholas Hammond, bless them.
Yeah, too bad we can't show a clip of him. Well, it's not him, but the stuntman climbing up the building.
Right.
But most of us have seen it, but yeah.
That was what's in our mind.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew there was different effects. We knew it was going to have a big budget, but I did not expect it till we started seeing some stuff on it early. Whoa. And so he gave us Spider-Man moving around. And go, wait a minute. If Spider-Man in a movie can move around like Spider-Man can, why can't the X-Men do the things X-Men do?
Yeah.
Why do the X-Men look like a bunch of... It looks like, they have powers, but it just doesn't seem the same. Why does Spider-Man look so good doing this?
Plus it's tough to do a group, I think, too. When you think of, like, in our minds, we read comics and, like, how would a fight really go with Cyclops and Storm and, the Beast?
Well, yeah,
and, I mean, it's...
Yes, but, man, Spidey moves in such an unnatural way.
Yeah.
I guess it's just, that's what freaked a lot of people out. It's like, wow, look what he does and stuff. And they did it well. I mean, Raimi had fidelity to the source material. He liked Spider-Man. He liked comics. Yeah. Bryan Singer doesn't like any. I'm not going to say what he likes.
Don't say it. Don't go there. Don't go there.
I already said it by not saying it. So
yeah,
so he doesn't care. In fact, I heard they brought in Joss Whedon to work. Weenie though he is, he likes comics at least, to work on that first X-Men script and took his name off of it.
Oh, he took his name off?
And he said, from what I read, he said nobody here knows anything about the X-Men. Why? Why are you making this movie?
Yeah.
And I can believe it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they get a property, and that's, hey, well, you were talking about before, Ragnarok, and as much as that movie's fun on the first view, and, people really love that movie, and you got, the Led Zeppelin song playing, Immigrant song playing with Thor, but as Eric Kay was saying, the more you look at it, the more it triggers you, and they wreck the story of Planet Hulk and Meek, his character, and Korg's character is just totally destroyed. They made them, comedians, which, they went just way too far with the humor, like Thor making some, quips once in a while without realizing it, kind of like, in Guardians of the Galaxy, like almost not realizing that he's being funny. That's okay because he's a god, but, they just took it way, way overboard. So, yeah, those kind of things kind of, it's like, you guys know the source material, you gotta stick to it. That's like what I was saying about Peacemaker. It's like, it just sets out to be that kind of potty humor, superhero take, satire, make fun of everything. And if you like that stuff, you're in for that, that's what you're in for. It's not trying to be anything else. And if you don't like that stuff, that kind of Howard Stern-ish, type of humor, or, then, stay away. But at least it knows, what it's trying to do. And it's Peacemaker. It's really not a well-known character. But if you ask, our crowd, most people would know, where he came from in the comics. But 99% of the people would say, who's that guy with the funny helmet? So, it's certain things, are interpreted differently and better, but, we've always got the original comics, so we can always go back to those and enjoy those. Like I just read Thing number 4 tonight. So
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's actually not as bad, but that's not saying much. I mean,
We should review it if you want to.
Yeah, we'll have to review it. But has the thing ever bled before in a comic? Spoiler
What?
alert. Has he ever, other than Wolverine taking out half his face, has he ever? I don't think so, right?
I don't think he bled when the champion beat him up.
Right, or maybe just his eyes a little bit or something.
No, I
He got
don't
a
think
bloody
so.
eye. But he never had blood.
He got bruised up and stuff. He was bruised up by the champion, but I don't think he bled that much or anything like that.
Yeah, maybe a little. Let's see, I got it.
But Wolverine cut his face, which was I always hated that crap.
I hated that too. Yeah,
that sucked.
Well, he did. All right, well, I got the comic, of course, but right next to me, typical. But
is that the last issue, or was there more going than that? Number 4.
There's a couple more issues. Yep. Yeah, okay. So he did bleed a little bit through his mouth, but it's not like it's.
Well, I've only read the first 2 and they suck. So you've read the first 4 and they suck. So there you go. We're in for a big comic. So.
It's a big disappointment. The cover to number 4 is great. They've copied the Kirby collage.
Well,
here I'll show it for 2 seconds. Here.
Yeah, you can show it if you want
to. Yeah. We'll review it, but here's the cover is actually pretty cool. It's a little Kirby.
I mean, I've seen some good. Some of the covers are good, but
that doesn't make a good comic, right? I mean, your car could
same artist on the inside.
Yeah, who's the cover? I think it's the same cover artist. Yep.
No, I mean, it's the same artist as the last couple of issues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And yep. The same guy does the whole series. Okay. Tom Riley. Yep. I think he's got the whole. So I'll just show one. It's not really a spoiler.
You can show a panel. I mean,
yeah, show a panel.
We showed every page of Kingdom Come the other night.
Yeah.
So that's not a new comic, but
the thing is getting attacked there. So where is it showing him bleeding?
Why is he's bleeding because of that? That's
this robot thing,
that's moronic.
Which is moronic, yeah.
Okay, look, Wolverine, one thing. The champion giving him bruises, another thing. An alien or what? He smashes. Why doesn't the Hulk make him bleed then?
Yeah, unless that guy's got adamantium.
I guess.
And we're getting a Chewbacca Wolverine, Chewbacca Han Solo Wolverine series in Star Wars.
Maybe you're getting it.
Yeah, I might get that. I just want to show one other pan, and then we'll review it. But Eric K almost makes an appearance, but he's silver in this one.
Yep, the bronze wrencher.
Yep. And
oh boy, well we'll review it like you say.
Yeah, and then the last one I'll show. I got to just show this because where the heck is this one? I got to show you a picture of the champion. The champion's in this.
Oh, the boy really likes that art. Hey.
He's a big fan.
That looks like dog crap.
Yeah. So that's the champion who never would see Benny, and he's like, and Silver Surfer says, let's see, what does he say here? He says something about the Elder of the Universe here. It's like, oh, this is strange, yeah, or something. Where's the line? Well, anyway, he's just saying, oh, I can't put. Oh, here is denizens of this primitive planet capturing the champion. One of the divine beings of existence. It is a conundrum. So, but we did the one good panel is here. We get Black Widow Weedos. That's for 32 flavors. Black Widows.
I can't stand modern so-called comic book art.
Yeah, the art.
I really can't stand it.
I mean, if you like that style, but I just don't. I mean, it kind of can grow on you. I mean, a little bit, but it's,
I like what he said. It's like if Steve Ditko was 7 years old and dropped on his head as a toddler. Wow.
Just tell us how you really feel, Hungry Boy.
Nice. I like it, Hungry Boy.
Right.
Yeah, well, what can you do? New comics are poop. But no surprise there. Mr. Angel, what's up there? What you see?
Hey, Mr. Angel.
All right, Chef. Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, so there you go. We'll review it though.
We'll have to do a proper.
Wait till the whole thing comes out, I guess, and we can review.
Yeah.
It. So So you want to review? Maybe in a couple of weeks we'll do Wolverine.
Yeah, I'm game for whatever works for you. It's all good.
Well, I'm not sure what I'm doing next Monday night. Loki and I might review either Monday or Tuesday night. We're reviewing Justice League Doom.
Yep.
I got to talk to him. The animated the movie, of course. And then the Monday after that is the Superman celebration. Monday night Mark C Comics Talk.
Nice,
So
yeah.
I don't know what we'll do for that. Maybe like I say, if MVP can't make it, I'll let you know if you want to. We'll do.
Sure,
Yeah,
he's the Superman guy or J-Man.
Well, not really. Not really. It's just that he and I talked about reviewing.
Yeah.
It was just so happened we talked about reviewing one comic on that. No. He does like Superman. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we'll do that. So we'll definitely have a Superman party.
Because wasn't his first comic February 29th? Was it on leap year?
No, it was his birthday's February 29th in the comics.
Okay. Yeah.
His first comic came out like June or something, whatever.
Okay.
Action Comics number 1 or whatever, yeah. So
okay, I was trying to remember something like that. Yep.
But it's Superman's birthday, the 29th.
Yep. So he doesn't age that quickly.
No.
Once every 4 years. I had an aunt who would keep saying, Superman's an old man now, Mark. Because I'd be playing with Superman toys. She's like, "Do you realize how old Superman is now?" Because he was from the 30s. Like, I'm like, Superman's not old. Like, yes, he's a very old man right now. We had a little thing going. It was so fun. Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, sorry, I had to get to the sneeze button. What the hell? I must have caught something. I must have, caught something at the super spreader event I went to the other day.
Super Bowl. Not good.
Just the sniffles.
Yep. Well, if you eat sea bugs, I hear that cures that.
Well, it's have to be uncured then.
Yep. And I had.
I just got to keep that thing near that button.
Yep.
I hope the button. By the way, I've never tested it either, so I guess it worked. You didn't hear me cough, did you?
No. You did the mute button.
Sometimes, I've wondered if you mute. Sometimes does it work right away?
That's pretty quick, I think.
Yeah.
The worst thing I always worry about is like unmuting yourself when you go to mute, like, or when a video is playing and you're muted, and then you like click unmute or something.
Right. Snail, thank you so much for that. I'll keep that an eye looking out for that. And thank you for being here, my friend. You take care and feel better. Get well soon, my friend.
Feel better, Snail Messiah. Yep.
Cardinal sent for $5. Thank you again. You're too kind, buddy. But he say unfair question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You bastard! You vicious, heartless bastard! All right, Clobby, 5 favorite comics. Mark D with a C, 5 favorite comic book movies. Okay, I'll let you go first if you can.
Well, I mean, assuming means like individual comic stories.
Yeah, you mean like individual stories?
Yeah,
because like favorite titles.
Yeah, because titles is a lot easier than stories. But I would say 5 favorite. I'll do 5 favorite stories. I'll do Micronauts 1 through 12, which is.
He wants us both to ask him. Okay, we'll both do this. We'll both go ahead. Go ahead.
Micronauts 1 through 12. Let's see, Watchmen. No particular order. The Bob Layton Hercules miniseries. The Wolverine miniseries. Probably Dark Knight by Miller, and then maybe, oh God, would it be, Born Again is great, or would it be FF Galactus Saga? You got to go with that. This is the top 5 all-time stories, and that's tough to.
No, it's tough.
That's tough
unfair. He admitted it was unfair. He's a reasonable bloke who admits it's unfair. So now go with your movies.
The movies, all right. Well, all right. So comic book movies, Superman. And I know that's on your list too. Batman 89, the Batman 66 movie. Some days, old chum, it's tough to get rid of a bomb.
Some days just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah. I would say Spider-Man 2. None of the FF movies, unfortunately. And what would I say is my next comic book movie? I would say probably Winter Soldier or Avengers. Winter Soldier's a better movie, but I thought Avengers just flowed so well. It's like a tie. But when I first saw Avengers, like, wow, how'd they pull this off with all these characters? I think Winter Soldier would edge it out. But those would be my top 5.
if we're talking about comic book runs or just series in general, rather than like a specific issue, obviously it's Kirby and Lee's FF 102 issue, just jaunt right there. So the Lee Kirby FF, Kurt Busiek's Astro City, the entirety of it. Some is better than others, but just in general, Astro City is one of the most underrated, one of the greatest comics ever written, possibly the greatest usage of the superhero idiom, in my opinion, ever. It's a masterpiece, and I love it. So, and I can't wait. We're finally getting it coming back. So, Kurt Busiek's Astro City right there. And then it gets tougher to pick one. So it's Watchmen, because I'm such a Watchmen fanatic. I love a lot of Alan Moore's work. But Watchmen, the actual comic goes on there. Daredevil Born Again. Let's see. What do we have here? Daredevil Born Again.
It's tough to do, yeah.
And then, it's tough to come. There's so many. I'm not saying that I would hold to this list if I went to make it again tomorrow, but to pick one more since we're doing 5 each. You're right. That is unfair. How dare you?
Stuck on a desert island. What 5 trades would you bring with you? Yeah.
Yeah. I think at number 5, I would have to say, whoa, man, it's not easy because now I have no options left. Probably, oh, man, I'm trying. Give me a second. It is tough. So I may have to, it's tough. Come on.
Any Batman runs?
There's some great Batman runs
that you would pick. That you would, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to probably go. But if you go with certain ones, you get a lot more volume.
Yeah.
More bang for your buck. I would probably go for Alan Moore's Supreme run.
Wow.
Only because there was a lot more of it than some of his other stuff. Although I take it back, I'm gonna go with Alan Moore's Superman comics. They're a little bit better.
There you go.
I love his Supreme.
Some Superman. Yep.
I love his Supreme run. So then when it comes to movies, it's a little bit easier. Gil, Superman the movie from 1978, Captain America the Winter Soldier, the Avengers from 2012, probably Avengers Infinity War, and the Rocketeer.
Oh, Rocketeer, good choice. Yep.
And again, we're naming them off the top of our heads. You never know. With further thought, you might come out with some other ones. So interesting, and very tough questions. I like a man who knows how to ask the tough questions.
And those are fun to do. Yeah, try to think on your feet. try to pick. Yeah, and honorable mention for comics too would be the Peter. I love Peter David too, and he's had some health problems recently. I was reading, and his Star Trek comics are fantastic. And also his Incredible Hulk run was just one of the all-time greats over 12 years. I got to meet him over at Comic-Con. I think I mentioned this to you, Mike. I don't know if I did it on the air, but then I said, I wish I'd brought some comics for you to sign. And he's like, well, you should have. I felt like about 2 inches.
You should have.
Because
he'll sign anything.
Yeah, well, what am I going to say? I bought a book from him, just like a novel he wrote with his daughter. But I'm like, thank you for all those great stories. Yeah.
Peter David was a really good Star. He's written some great Star Trek novels.
Star Trek is awesome. Yeah.
Cardinal, thank you so much. But I respectfully disagree. I am a purist, but I am also a snob. Just kidding. Just kidding, buddy. But yeah, I can't wait. Like I say, you were talking about these new comics. The feeling of looking forward to a new comic is just almost alien to me over the past 10 years, but I'm glad I got one coming out next month, but it's good, which is the new Astro City, but I don't know, will it disappoint me? I mean, will it be,
yep.
Will I, just that strange feeling and it just, come on now. It'll be this, if nothing else, it'll probably disappoint me because there won't be enough of it.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully it'll be good.
I sure hope so. I don't want to because I got to go to a comic shop.
Yeah, Phantom says, Peter David can be quite snarky. I found that out. He wasn't being mean. Snarky. Especially when you meet someone you idolize, too, like that. And you're like, well, what do you say to the guy, too? It's like, oh, you're the greatest ever. People must get sick of, hearing that they're the greatest ever,
he's
right?
He's approachable. I've talked to him.
No, he's approachable. I'm teasing. But he was just snarky. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, Cardinal's going to have, he says, Cardinal Sin is going to have Peter David supposed to be a guest on my show, Masters of the Genre. I hope he's in good enough health to do an interview. Well, I hope so, Cardinal. That'll be an interesting interview, and it's an interesting guy. Was very prolific throughout the course of his career. This is a guy that I remember. I used to actually, and a buddy of mine really loved his continuing column in the '80s in the back of Comics Buyer's Guide. He wrote every week called "But I Digress." He wrote, of course, a long stint on Hulk and Spider-Man, as Mark was mentioning. This guy's written Star Trek novels, a lot of them, and a lot of Star Trek comic books. He's even written an episode of Babylon 5 and a book, one of the Babylon 5 books as well.
That's prolific, yeah. And it's just so, when he's so intelligent, so well written, just love his stuff, yeah. So usually it's the artist, I'd say, that draws people to a comic book. But for me, it was such a great writer. You had Peter David. It was almost like he was the the draw. Sometimes it does happen with writers, but more often it's the artist, I think, that becomes the draw. And pardon the bad pun there, but just loved his stuff. And I read he had some kidney problems, so he's got to do dialysis or something. It was public. It was on Twitter, so he was posting it. So hopefully Cardinal can be able to get to your show. And then the other sad news was what's it? Oh God. Brain freeze. Or artist Perez. Yeah, was entered hospice. Yeah, it was just.
They said it's not that bad. They said he's going there to, it's going to help him.
Yeah, well, my dad had the same thing with, with your gallbladder gets messed up when you have pancreatic cancer. So my dad had exact same problems he had with like infections and things. With not again too many details, but unfortunately, it's pretty common with that form of cancer. So hopefully he's okay and they can, give him some treatment and just so you're not in any pain. Yep.
Well, Clobberin Times, do you want to co-host when I have him on? Well, look, Cardinal, dude, that's your show, man. But if you want me on there and it's the time I'm able to be there, I'd be honored to come on and help in any way I can. If you need a co-host, sure. I mean, if I can help you with that, I'd be honored to do so. But, it just depends on when you're doing it. And it's one of those times when I'm home and I would be happy to help with that. If any way I can.
And remember to bring comics to get signed.
Yes. All I can bring is questions, though. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, he's like I say, he's done a lot of work. Yeah. And he's done a lot of good stuff. So I hope I know I used to see him at Dragon Con all the time. He lives near there. And he goes to every Dragon Con, but so. Well, in that case, I would be happy to help, Cardinal. You got it, buddy. Just let me know. Like I say, I hope he gets his health problems sorted out. He's what's it? He wrote. Let me see here. He wrote a Trek book I really liked called The Rift. Did you ever read that?
I'm not so good with titles, but was that DC or was that?
No, I'm talking about a Star Trek novel he wrote called
Star Trek novel.
The Rift. It takes place in between Star Trek 5 and 6, I think. It's around that
cover because
it's around that time period. He actually brings back a couple characters, but he does it well.
Yes, I've read that. Yep,
he brings back Richard Daystrom.
I read that. I have that. Yeah, great book. Yeah, I'm just totally until I saw the cover. That's a great book. Yep.
He wrote Vendetta.
I've read a bunch of his books. Yeah.
Next Generation. He wrote some D Space Nine books. He knows how to write Trek. And again, he wrote
those books were a big deal when they came out too. It was like
Trek books were big back then. I mean, they were all the
people
Trek
were talking about them. Like, and I would get in the Star Trek newsletter, whatever the heck they called it, and there was like, a new book by Peter David coming out, and they'd review them, and it was like a big topic of conversation about what books are coming out, and so it was a good time to be a Star Trek fan.
Athena, I did not read that one. Is that one of those ones by Greg Cox or whatever? To Serve in Hell. I know he did a con series, but I don't know. I know I have not read it, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that one. You got it, buddy. He's been in a holding pattern because I haven't done enough research on him, but I asked him, and he was like, "Sure, when." So, well, anything I can help with, Gil, you got it. So, I'm sure he's probably trying to get over his problems with his medical issues and stuff like that. So, hopefully, he'll get that taken. He'll get that out sorted out. But if when I can help, you got it, man. But you know, I don't. I know they did a series of con novels.
Yep, and there's a comic too, Ruling in Hell, that was really good. I don't know if it's based on the novel. Was by Greg Cox, To Reign in Hell, and then there's Ruling in Hell, and I read those comics, and those are really good.
And Peter David has a new book. So yeah, I have that comic too. You talking about the IDW one?
Yeah, it's IDW. Yep, Ruling in Hell. Yep, yeah, the red uniform on the. He's wearing the red jumpsuit on the cover. Yep.
Okay. You know, David wrote a book back in the 80s that my friend Claude liked a lot called Nightlife with a K, you know, Nightlife. It's about King Arthur living in modern times or something. And it was kind of I haven't read it, but Peter David used to do the adaptations of a lot of different movies. And people used to say, wow, that movie was just sort of so-so, but the Peter David adaptation was really good. Oh, yeah, I think he adapted the one you like. Aren't you the one that loves Return of the Swamp Thing?
The movie or the
movie?
Yeah, well, that's not me, but I mean, I appreciate it was. Is that the one with Heather Thomas in it or Heather Locklear?
Yeah, Heather Locklear.
Yeah, it's a fun movie to watch, but it's just hysterical.
Someone I knew was talking recently how great it was. But anyway, he wrote. Peter David used to write. I mean, that dude is so prolific. He wrote the novelizations of so many movies. Does everyone remember when movies had novelizations?
Oh yeah,
Any movie that came out, especially any genre film that came out, had a novelization. You name it, there was a book. Especially comic related ones, but also any science fiction one or anything that was not based on a book, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, they had those famous Star Trek picture books too, that weren't really novels. Were they novelizations, or would you call it more of a like a comic? Yeah.
Well, the movies did have novelizations though.
Yeah, but then they also had the picture books one, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about novelizations of movies.
Yeah.
Every time a movie would come out in the 80s and 90s.
God, that was great to read as a kid. Even though
which one?
The
Pleasant Valley
picture.
Pleasant Valley Picker. Yeah, the motion picture one was allegedly written by Gene Roddenberry. I think Alan Dean Foster wrote it though.
Yep.
I'm not sure, but yes. I'm trying to think. And so they would always add stuff to the books, of course.
Well, yeah, there's a lot more detail to it that you can get into the character. So, as much as I love the motion picture, and the book does change, change some things, but you just get those details. Like I was saying the other night, like The Martian, reading the book first, you just love the book. You can't put the book down. But when you see the movie, it's kind of disappointing, only because you've read the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes, that just depends. But no, as far as a novelization goes, though, if it's a book that's not really based on anything, a movie or a TV show, but a movie in particular that's not really based on a well-known book, they did novels all the time.
Yep.
And he did a bunch of those. I mean, and he would add his own stuff. I know he did the Swamp Thing ones. What else did he do? I'm trying to think. Well, he did a bunch of them. That man's written so much, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's just a prolific line of body of work. It's just amazing what he's done. So, so yeah, just one of my favorite writers. Although probably we don't talk politics here. I wouldn't really.
Yeah, politically, he wouldn't like it.
Yeah, but that's okay. He's just love his work. Yep. So
there's a new extended version of The Martian. You mean the book?
Oh, the movie, maybe the movie.
Or the movie, Cardinal. I mean, it probably means the movie.
The movie. Yep. Yeah, well, that'd be good to watch. Yeah, because there were a couple other missions and things things that happen. Of course, you have to leave it out because it's a it's a movie, time wise. But it's just he can describe everything and it'd be boring for a movie, but like all the details of, you get to hear that character's inner voice when you can't really do that in a movie for the most part. So
I think those Man from Uncle films you're referring to were just episodes compiled into films, weren't they, Hungry Boy? And I think there were books. Are we talking about the same thing? And a buddy of mine bought all those Man from Uncle books when you can still buy them. But Man from Uncle movies are episodes compiled as movies. If you're talking about the old TV show there, Hungry Boy, I'm fairly sure. And a buddy of mine who has all the Man from Uncles, I think he even has the books. That was back, they did books on everything too. They did book adaptations of TV shows and all that other stuff, and then extensions of them. And man, you could go to cons and find them fairly cheap. And then after years, they started getting more and more rare. Always grab
Yep.
movie novels. Yeah, movie novels, STTMP, Radicon. Have a lot of horror movie novelizations from back in the day. Trevor, cool. Yeah, I used to love getting the novelizations too. I used to buy them. Sometimes I buy them way before.
yeah, it's just
Hey,
a lot of fun.
Sean. Sorry about that. Decepticon, what's up, buddy? And Pop Culture Republic, hey. Mark D
Oh,
looks
guys.
like Mr. Abrams planted a direct.
Yep.
Looks like a direct star. Oh, he's planning to direct Star Trek 4 with the original return cast, and I thought Star Trek Beneath was his last. He didn't direct Beneath, but he produced it. Sorry, I have to change certain words sometimes.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that news today, but who knows if it actually will happen? I mean, they keep announcing Star Trek 4, so it fell through about 3 or 4 times, and there was the guy from Pulp Fiction. What's his director was going to do? Tarantino was going to direct the adult Star Trek, quote unquote adult Star Trek movie. So
at least Tarantino, because I thought, wow, that would be crazy. And then I heard him talk, and he said he hates what he doesn't like the Abrams shit.
Well, that would be a nice change then.
He hates it. He said, "I want none of that counts." He hates. He talked like me. I saw him in an interview one time saying all that because the guy was talking about different things that happened in the Abrams movies. And he was saying that's a bunch of crap. That doesn't count. And it's like, wow, I can't believe it. But even though he might not make him cursing and all that stuff. He might actually, I don't know. Pleasant Valley says, anyone remember TV show paperbacks? Yes, we were just talking about those. I have some my cousin gave me to sell for him. Got some Dark Shadows ones. Yep, some Man from Uncle paperbacks. A buddy of mine's got all of those, I think. On eBay right now. Oh, you have them on eBay. Oh, wow, cool.
And then our buddy Retro collects all the Doctor Who Target books. I don't know if you consider that the same kind of idea, but
they're adapted in the episodes.
Yeah, it's British Target, not the store in the U.S., but Target was the publisher. Publisher, yeah. Every time I hear Retro's like, Retro, you have Target in the U.K.?
No. They might. They don't have Target over there. Yeah. Expanded storyline that never happened in the movie. The comics of Empire Strikes Back had expanded storyline that never happened in the movie. Well, it had things that weren't in the movie, but it wasn't an expanded storyline so much as it was done from very early drafts. Because the Marvel Comics weren't allowed to see the final working scripts and stuff up until they weren't there at production. So the information they got was from sketchy early stuff. Hunger Boy says, "Okay, Clobby, we got rare episodes of Man from Uncle, so I wanted them the movie. Yes, the movie novels. Well, yes, because the Man from Uncle made at least, like you said, about 5 or 6 movies." Out of episodes that did air all over the place there, Hungry Boy, but they are episodes. I keep forgetting, because he was over there in Oz. So,
yep, all the way across the world. Yep.
Yeah. Cool show, Man from Uncle.
Yeah, and Pleasant Valley says, love to see Tarantino. Couldn't be worse than JJ.
Yeah, at least if nothing else, it'll be funny, but I still wouldn't like that. Love photo novels. Yeah, I had almost all the Trek photo novels. I said there are animated versions nowadays, but like the live action ones. Well, John Byrne did a bunch of photo novels of Star Trek.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did that. I never bought those because I looked at them and I never. There's a name for what they call those, right? Yeah, because it's he took all the images from the original series and just created a story by rearranging the images and. They weren't cheap. Novels. That's what you
Yeah.
call a photo. Yeah.
That's what they used to call the Trek. Like 12 Trek ones in the 70s.
Yeah.
Then they did one of the motion picture, which was in
Okay.
color. I had that thing. I wore that out. There's so much that it tore the. I mean, broke up on me. And then they did it. The last one they did was for Wrath the Khan, and it was in black and white for some reason. And we were all pissed off. I'm like,
give us color.
why would you do this in black and white? The other one was in black and white. I got the Battlestar Galactica photo novel somewhere still. It's still intact from the the opening pilot.
Then I'm talking then John Byrne years later. I think
Byrne did those.
What would you call those? It's like when you rearrange, like because he's like taking all the clips and just finding the screenshots or pictures that would help him, tell his story they wanted to tell.
Fumetti used to be the actual term, but yeah, it's just a photo novels basically.
Okay.
I mean, you call. I don't know what else you'd call.
Did you ever buy any of those, or?
I bought them first, like 5, 6, or 7, and eventually I'm like, man, these are $10 a pop, and they're coming out.
They're
too
expensive,
much.
Right? Yeah, they were expensive.
Stopped. I had to stop, and they're like $8, $9. First one was okay. I read some of them. I was like, but he's just being lazy using pictures because he can't draw anymore.
Or he didn't want to draw, or he couldn't draw.
I mean, I don't know. Look at some of his art leading up to that. I mean, it's just people get old and can't draw the same way.
That's true. Yeah, right.
I mean, to me, he couldn't draw in the 80s and 90s when he would ink himself. He looked like crap. He needed inkers, and he wouldn't listen to anybody because he got paid for the inking. He was a big superstar. I mean, that was my opinion. I don't know if it was. I know that's true because he did get paid triple. But I mean, for writing and inking and drawing and inking, penciling and inking stuff. But I just thought his inking sucks on himself anyway. Splinter in the Mind's Eye was an interesting read. I remember reading that. I loved Splinter in the Mind's Eye. Alan Dean Foster. Would be strange to see a movie adaptation of it now, especially with how Disney running Star Wars. Yeah, there was a comic book adaptation. They did a comic of that. Yeah. You ever read Splinter in the Mind's Eye?
Yeah, I had to have read that.
Look at the picture. The novel of Star Trek II. It's much different than it was in Star Trek
Alan
II.
Dean Foster, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got all those books. I had to, so I don't want to say that I've read some or I haven't, but I had to have read. I've got that, so.
Yes, Cardinal. I love those. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. I love those Terrence Dicks Target novelizations of Doctor Who. That was a big deal back then before we ever knew we'd ever see the old episodes. When we thought we'd never see any of the older Doctors, it was a big deal. Let's see. Oh yeah, there is a graphic novel. Well, there was a comic that they put it into a graphic novel, or they in a trade, but it came out in comic form first.
Oh, was a comic book first, or was a novel first?
It was a novel way for. I'm talking about.
Yeah, the novel was much older.
No, I'm talking about the comic they did before they put the comic into a graphic. I hate when they say graphic novels. It's just a pet peeve. They compiled the comic into a trade.
Yeah, it was a comic book first. Yeah. But everyone today has seen the trade. Yeah. Yeah, and they call it Legends now. They call it Legends. Oh, they had so many good stories they could have told when we got the Force Awakens.
Trevor, did they ever do novels or comics of The Prisoner? I seem to recall that. They did. There were some novels in the 70s that are really weird. I have them somewhere where they're not adapting the episodes and they're not really about the show. I mean, they're not really, there's like just further adventures type stuff. And they're really weird stories, but I bought them. I have them, like 3 prisoner novels. I've got them buried somewhere. And then, of course, they started a comic book with Jack Kirby and even with some work on Gil Kane back in the 70s that Marvel did, and it never went through. Then in the late 80s, Dean Motter, for DC, they did an adaptation that was licensed, a sequel to the Prisoner show, and I hated it. I thought it sucked. And then more recently, in the 2013, 14s, or somewhere up in there, 15s, IDW or someone like that did a Prisoner comic as well. Which I bought. I think someone gave me an issue of one of them, and I was like, nah. But that's just me as a complete Prisoner purist and Prisoner snob. So I didn't like them, but that doesn't mean anything.
I was looking up Splinters of the Mind Eye, and someone made vintage Star Wars toys look like the cover. Luke has got that jumpsuit on, and Leia. So
really?
Someone actually made custom.
Oh yeah,
custom.
That was a good
Here,
comic.
why don't I show for 2 seconds here? Might as well.
I remember that comic was again. when we read it, we did it. It was before Empire, so it really Empire contradicted the hell out of it. Obviously,
Yeah, and Athena's saying that was supposed to be the sequel. All right. Yeah. So here's that's pretty cool. So here's the cover. Let's see. This is the famous, one of the famous covers. And then they call it Legends. The cover from the comic book. I think this was the original novel cover, if I'm remembering correctly, and that was
pop culture. We had a we crossed our. No, it was a novel first in the early '80s before Empire came out. What I meant was it was a regular issue comic book before it got compiled into a trade paperback, quote unquote graphic novel. It's just not. So no, it was a novel first, a comic book later, and then formed into a comic book trade paperback later. That was me being pedantic.
Well, yeah, because like the Death of Captain Marvel is actually a graphic novel.
Right. See, graphic novels and trade paperbacks are two different things. People just call anything that's square bound paperback that's thick, they call them graphic novels. But yeah, he got me. There you go. So that was my fault, but those are great. Those are customs.
Yeah, look at that awesome. Man. Retro Blasting would love those. Yep.
I don't know.
So that's
not sure if he would or not.
I think he would.
I
think
never
he would.
Predict. I love that.
I'll predict
that cover.
Yeah, that's a great. What could have been in the movies, right? So, which you never got. Or today they could do flashbacks, but they've ruined the whole damn series with the direction they went. Like, Luke Skywalker in the Book of Boba Mandalorian was actually totally CGI, and his voice was totally computer created from sampling Mark Hamill's voice.
No.
So there was no Mark Hamill, quote unquote,
That's why he didn't talk much
in that episode. Yeah, totally voice generated by computer.
That's why he didn't have much to say, I guess.
Yep. But just think of it. I mean, you could bring back Humphrey Bogart. I mean, he'd never be the same, but you could theoretically, tell some of these stories, these legend stories, and bring them to life with these, with the characters with CGI now. So I know Mark Hamill sold the rights to his likeness. I don't know about Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher's estate. Originally, they said they didn't want her in the sequel, which I can understand, right after she passed. But who knows, right? You could, down in the future, I bet you there'll be some big deals, with the estates of some of these big Hollywood stars selling their likeness, and then they conceivably could appear in new productions. And you could, with the computers, they can go back and feed all the, miles of dialogue in and get all the nuances, and it'll never be the same. But you could have the actor and then do the voice change. I mean, it's just the way technology is going. I don't know. It's but that was some great. Well, you can go read the books, I guess, right? But it's too bad we ended up with that garbage Star Wars
trilogy sequel trash. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, hear you, Duder. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, no one even need actors. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's no Han and that's right, no Han and Chewie, because they were busy in those three. There were two Han novels, Han Solo at Star's End, and I forgot whatever that other one was, Starless Voyage or something. And this it's weird because then after that they did after Jedi. I mean after Empire they did Lando books, or was it after Jedi? Whatever it was. They did a Lando book or two, or maybe one. I don't know. But again, the Star Wars books were not in abundance. I mean, you had the comic, you had the movie adaptations, you had the two Han Solo books. I think Splinter in the Mind's Ear is the only one for Luke and Leia, if I'm not mistaken. And Luke and Leia are not in the Han Solo books. And then later you had those Lando ones. But back then there weren't a million books coming out. You had the comic book.
Yeah, it wasn't oversaturated.
In between movies, that's all you had. I mean, you had to wait.
Yeah, it wasn't, and whenever something came out, it was a big deal too, because you were hungry for Star Wars, guys.
I mean, especially in Trek, the same deal. If you wanted a new Trek, I mean, you usually obviously there was the comic coming out, but if you went into comics, you picked up the Trek novels.
Yep. Yeah, and then there were video games. I mean, few and far between.
Look, especially the 70s, dude. The 70s there were some, but there weren't a million Trek novels. And I could probably almost name you all the ones in the 70s. That's how many there were.
Not that many. Yeah.
Well, it started out with Well, they did a little. The first Trek book was with the new story was Mission to Horatius, and it was kind of like a children's set. But I have the reprint of that somewhere. They did. But the first novel was by James Blish, who done the novelizations. Now the novelizations were big of the episodes, and even they were not exactly like the episodes. But James Blish, who did those, did the first book called Spock Must Die. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
I don't remember that one though.
And it was weird, but that was the first regular Trek novel. Then they did these. They used to do these Trek. They did regular Trek novels, and they even did these like the New Voyages books were compilations of different stories from magazines from different authors and stuff. Short stories. I used to have some of those. If you could interview on YouTube 5 obviously living comics writers and or artists, who would they be? Or rather, other than Peter David? Living? Well,
Yep.
Easy. Alan Moore, Kurt Busiek, Frank Miller. Let me see. Living. Living is good, by the way. I like that qualification for sure.
Well, Perez.
He said it. Well, he did say writers.
Oh, writers.
Artists. He said artists, and Perez is alive. I don't know. More. Let's see. Let me make sure. Jim Starlin, maybe. And wow. I like that question, Cardinal, and thank you again so much for that very kind super chat. You were too kind, sir. So yeah, I'll go that way. I'll go Alan Moore, Kurt Busiek, Frank Miller. Man, it's Jim Starlin, Paul Levitz. That's for me, Paul Levitz. And you know what? I'm going to replace Starlin. Well, no, because I forgot he's not. We just lost a couple other ones. So I guess maybe I'll keep Starlin in there. So that's me. Yeah. So there we go.
Yep.
Do you have anybody, or do you like?
Yeah, well, I would obviously. I was going to jump it in there, but I would say, God bless George Perez, but I would love to, meet him. Maybe Ethan Van Sciver, EVS, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Would be fun to talk. Interview and meet too, because he's so controversial. Tom DeFalco, I love Tom DeFalco and Spider Girl. I'm gonna pimp Spider Girl again.
Look at that. He says he could get out more. I can believe getting Miller maybe, but more.
Yeah,
if you can get more, dude. I mean, you have.
No, I think he means like he on your list. He understands your list. I think, right?
He says I can get. That means
I think he means he understands, like he agrees with you. I think that's what that means.
I don't know. I think he means he can interview him. That's what it looks like to me, man.
Oh well, if he could, yeah. Well, if anyone can get Alan Moore, yeah. Alan Moore is going to be a tough.
That's tough.
He said that he's in hiding somewhere.
Yeah. Thank you for being here, Athena. Appreciate you. Yeah. Look at him, Mr. Smarty Pants. Okay, all right. Let's see about that, buddy.
Well, if he
Levitz
could,
was fun to meet. Yeah, I'd love to meet Levitz. Oh, you know what? I take it back. Instead of Starlin, I'd say Roy Thomas. Go ahead.
Well, I would say, I've gotten to meet, John Byrne might be fun to interview.
I'd like for you to interview John Byrne.
Yep, he's fun, and of course Michael Golden I've met a bunch of times at cons. So I mean, I kind of wouldn't want to. Although he'd be fun to talk to. Although
did he write much though, because I think he was being writer artist at least.
Yeah, or writer artist to get. Oh, we left off Dan Slott.
You did leave off. You did leave off Dan Slott, didn't you?
Didn't you? And good night to Athena Fowler. Yep, some great comments in the chat. Yep. Don't let Harry give you any guff. Yeah. No, that commercial. Yep.
I mean, there are a lot of them that are still alive. I mean, not many, granted, not as many. Because there were a couple I thought of for a second, had to remember, oh, no, not with us anymore.
Yeah. So, and of course, who's Mark Wade is, popular now in terms of getting every, terms of, a lot of stuff on TV. Like if you were interviewing someone, but yeah. But who we'd really want to meet. Yeah, but that narrows it down. I think that's a pretty decent. And Simonson, God, Simonson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Simonson's a good one.
Simonson. Yeah, what am I thinking there? All right, I'm crossing. I'm blocking Dan Slott. I'm putting Simonson in.
Yeah. Deception says, Star Trek Prodigy Boo Hiss had an episode where they sampled voices from other shows of Nimoy, Nichols, Duhan, Aubergenois for their characters. Didn't sound great, but respected that they attempted it. Okay. I did not hear it.
I didn't want to post that into our Clobberin Times chat group because I didn't want to get clobbered, but because I know Raquel doesn't want to see any of the new stuff. But yeah, I saw that in an episode they had. I didn't watch it, but it had like a holograms of the characters, I guess. Because I've only seen the first episode. Got to see it at Comic-Con, the premiere, but I think the premise is they're in the Delta Quadrant and they're Janeway is a hologram and they're training these new quote unquote cadets. So I think that was part of the training. So they did have them all, in the episode. So I guess that's interesting to see. They tried to sample their voices, and I guess I'll watch a few more episodes. It was very, very kid. As we were talking the other night about, Star Trek the animated series wasn't written for kids, even though it was kid friendly and it was Saturday morning TV. This show was the first show was basically action. Not much message, just almost like a Disney-fied.
Forgot Filth.
Yeah, well, I felt.
Pleasant Valley, take it easy, buddy.
Yeah, take care. But he's just like a meaningless action romp. This is kind of what I'll call it. So yeah.
Oh, well, no, I hear you, but filth. I'm sorry. I'm compelled to say filth.
I'm too nice. You can say it. I'm just too nice. I'm too nice to say it. Yeah. One cool thing was the artwork on the ship that they had was gorgeous, and the CGI. It did look very Star Trekky. If that's a word, but that's about it. I'll give it that. The ship look. I love spaceship. It was much better than that. All right, I'll say it. The filthy ships that they have in Discovery that look so horrible. I would never want to build a model of.
Phil. Sorry, Elijah Ballas. Long time no see, buddy. He says it's the esoteric sci-fi guys. Hail, P.S. Love the Starfleet uniform. Star Trek 2 through 6 collars go to TNG. I think he must be like way behind on the. That's my opinion of Star Trek for the year. Maybe he's like listening way behind us or something.
It could be, yeah.
Because we were talking about that a while, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. Yeah. You never know. Yep.
Yeah. So
I've done that before too, where like you pause it and then you.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
And you forget. Or the worst thing is you're not doing this, but when I've done it a few times, like you're watching like 2 or 3 streams, like you got a buddy on and you want to like just at least give them the like and the viewer count. And then you post like in the wrong chat, like from your one chat, and you're posting in the, like, what are you talking about?
I've done it before, Bill. Cardinal. I like some of Bill Sienkiewicz's art as a person. He's a real jerkweed to people on YouTube, on social media, unfortunately, and a hateful jagoff. But I've never been the biggest fan of all of his stuff. But he's done some okay stuff. But hey, if I were you, you can get him on there. That would be a good score. Decepticon said in Prodigy, I should call it. They're not recruits. They're bratty kids escaping tyrants who imprison them. They're in a Federation ship, with Janeway hologram guiding them. Yeah, so I've heard. I have heard that, sir. Sounds like drivel.
I've only seen the first one, but I imagine it's. I trust you guys. Yeah, it's not that good. Although I guess what they're trying to do is instead of just giving us something new, they've always got to tie it back to something old and existing. So once in a while, like in TNG, we did that great Relics episode. We got Spock, but that was when the series was already established. It was already 5 seasons in. So
Cardinal, let me just tell him something real quick.
Sure.
Sienkiewicz is very hateful to anyone who disagrees with him on. I don't get political here, but he hates Comicsgate, and he's hateful to anybody. He's been really rude and hateful to anyone who disagrees with him in politics. So I think he's a jagoff. That's just me, though. Just so you'll know, I don't, But anyway. So sorry. I just wanted to let him know that. So.
Oh, Kyle saying, yeah, this isn't the live stream for PC repair. I can fix your PC too over the.
Yes.
my buddy, one of my good buddies called me today. He can't get into Facebook anymore, which isn't so bad, but we talk on Messenger a lot. And I guess his phone got signed out of Facebook, and then his laptop did. So we couldn't. I was on with like an hour. I still can't get him back on. I think he tried too many times. So my tech support for Brian was not successful today. But like it was like an endless loop of like Facebook asking you to recover your account. So my tip is to write down your passwords and put them in a safe place. Or use a password manager.
Yes, my tip is to bang the rocks together, guys.
Well, you got Reed Richards to fix your computer for you, right?
I do. That'd be you. Yeah. Well, you're Reed Richards. Oh my dear! Now, well. I saw you had an enabling video today that you just dropped right before we came out there, and yes, everyone, please go to Mark's channel and watch it. Subscribe and watch his new video where he tells you to spend money.
Thank you.
That he himself is not prepared to spend, or is he?
I might have to buy those Ghostbusters. I'll probably regret it too if I don't buy the Ghostbuster Migos set. They look pretty cool. So, thank you to Pat S for, or maybe don't. Damn you, Pat S, for pointing that out. But it's $70. You get all 4 Ghostbusters. It's not, if you like Migos, it's
not bad.
Not bad. Yeah,
I mean, I can't afford it, but it's still not bad.
Yeah. It's not bad. Yeah. At least it's not like the $420. There are some really expensive Ghostbuster sets out there, and Hot Toy. I don't know if it's Hot Toys or whatever, but whoever has a license, they are pretty cool. But for what you're getting, and then you don't have to worry about dropping them or that. When they're $20, it's not so bad. So
yeah. Cal, Kalel says I've only seen a photo that you couldn't see the thing very well. The picture he's talking about with Michael Keaton in a bat suit from that somehow got taken off the set of him, a set photo or whatever of them filming or whatever of Michael Keaton in the bat suit.
Did they change it allegedly, or is it going to be the '89 suit?
It's interesting. I don't know if we can find. We might be able to find it out there. I can look, but.
Here's one here. Batman set photo teasers.
Set photo. Here you go. It's okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm not thrilled about that movie anyway. I don't really care about it, but we could take a look at it. It's interesting. We don't have a great shot of it either, though.
Is it the one of him sitting down, just in the chair?
No, he's standing up. When you can see the ears, and they look pretty good.
I'm trying to find it here. Let's see.
Got a yellow bat.
I'm just seeing
set photo. I saw somebody showed it last night.
Huh. Trying to find it on the interwebs here. I got a picture of the symbol, but not. I guess an article on it. Yeah, the one bad thing about that costume was he couldn't turn his neck in that.
Well, he's not gonna be able to turn his neck in this one either. I think maybe it was Midnight's Edge was showing it last night.
I'm not finding it on the internet. That's strange. Usually you can find things in like
they might have taken it down.
Yeah, maybe
Where'd you see that, Cal? Did you see him showing it on a show or something? Because I saw it on Midnight's Edge last night. They were showing it. And my impression was, like you said, it looks sort of like the one from Batman Returns.
Well, maybe they took it down because of who knows with these copyright things. Because like I was reading about one of the Star Trek websites, and they had posted a picture, I guess, of the Paramount stream of the new Star Trek series that's coming out, and they DMCA'd and took everyone down, and they're like one of the huge supporters, the new Trek as we call it. and they like killed their website, killed their Twitter feed.
Good.
It's like wait, you're getting free advertising here, and it's someone that they were just it was a public. I guess you're not supposed to do a screenshot of their presentation, but it was public presentation. I guess so. Some of these companies are crazy.
Fucking freaking nuts. I mean, they really are. Cardinal Sin says for $5. Thank you so much. Again, you're too kind. Thank you very much, Cardinal. Says, were you a fan of the Dick Tracy movie that came out like 30 years ago? I had a lot of issues with that film. I think I love some things about it. I remember I had my comic shop at the time, Cardinal, and the theaters. The theater gave us, when you went to buy your shirt, we went and bought tickets for the premiere, and your ticket was not a ticket that you put in your hand. It was an actual shirt, a Dick Tracy shirt. That was your ticket. So that's how you got in. And I thought that was kind of a cool thing they did. So cool. We go to see it, and I love the way that Warren Beatty insisted that the villains all looked there right off the Chester Gould comic. Although he shouldn't kill the villains, I mean, but still, they all look great except he forgot one thing. I mean, I thought the story was okay. I love the way the whole look of the film, but he forgot to make Dick Tracy look like he came out of the comic book as well. Comic strip. He's not a comic book; it's a comic strip. He made everyone look just like the comic strip characters, but he wasn't willing to do that to his own stupid face. That said, I do enjoy the movie. I thought it was okay. Oh, there you go. There you go. You got T-shirts for being first in line too. Okay, well, yeah, that was our ticket. Let's see. It says, I saw it on Facebook. If you like, I can send you the. If you want to send that, we'll take a look at it, buddy, for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, I can't actually find it. It's funny. I'm seeing all these articles, but no pictures of the suit.
But you know what, Cardinal? I thought the movie was okay. I enjoyed it for the time. I haven't watched it in a while. My buddy Michael with Retro Blasting has done a lot of cool videos about it, especially with regards to the toys and stuff. So it's a fun looking movie, of course. I mean, I don't know why Madonna had to be in it, but what do I?
They were dating at the time, weren't they? Or...
Yeah. In fact, our good buddy J-Man and Decepticon, they were just talking about that movie tonight. The Dick Tracy merchandise and hype around it was awesome. The Disney comics, the Gladstone reprints, the Playmates figures, the stylish logos, the T-shirts, and all that fun stuff. And the figures. Michael's got all the figures, but I think he said it was one that was really rare. I don't know if he ever got it all. He's got a lot of videos about that.
Yep.
I don't think I've watched it really since then either, Cardinal, come to think of it. Not that I'm against watching it again. Do you have that movie?
Nope, I don't have that one, actually. Nope. That's it. Probably didn't age too badly, I guess. Yeah, it's just like it's mocked all the time, but probably not that. It was a fun movie, I guess. Plus with all the colors and everything, the way they tried to do it.
Well, he was definitely banging her at the time, but who wasn't? But who wasn't really? I mean, you say Shocking. That like everyone else wasn't banging Madonna. I probably was, just forgot. I mean, by now it's been 30 years. I was probably, what's that line from A League of Their Own? Since you think there's men in this country, they ain't seen your bosoms.
Right.
He just sent it to. He would just send me the. Okay, let me take a look here.
Now, one thing I read, it's supposed to. We're going to go with a Kingdom Come version of Batman, but isn't he in like an exoskeleton basically in that comic? And then they've got the robot Batman. So.
Oh wow! There we go. All right, let me share him. Thanks a lot, Cal. Appreciate that, bro. About to show him now. There we go.
Huh. Not like in the pants. It looks like a much looser suit.
It doesn't. Does this take place like many years later or whatever? Or I guess
it's got to be, right? Yeah.
Huh.
It's supposed to be an older Batman, right?
I mean, the bat's on there though.
We got that. Yep.
Let's see. Ever saw the class? Let's see. So Dick Tracy classic cartoons. I know Dick Tracy had allies like Joe Jitsu and Policeman Hemlock Holmes. Yeah, those. Yeah, he had all those on there. Yeah. Well, of course, I've seen the comic strips and those old cartoons from the early '60s. Yes, it was even they tried. There was a Dick Tracy live action pilot filmed in the '60s that never got sold.
Wow. Anyone ever see it or
Yeah, I've seen it. I
don't
know. It
it's
might
on the
be on
interwebs
YouTube for all I know. I don't know. It's been so long. I saw it on somebody had it on tape, and I got it. A buddy of mine got it. It's one of those things. We used to get tapes, boots from cons and different places all the time with stuff like that. It might be on YouTube for all I know. I haven't checked it, but yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, Pop Culture Republic saying it looks off somehow. Of course, you never until you get it in the movie. You don't they change the lighting. They change sometimes they have different stuff going on. But
the blank was only in Canada. That's the one Michael couldn't find. That he wanted that Dick Tracy figure from the toy to the blank. Only in Canada. He couldn't find it anywhere. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's a Decepticon says Batman's had their wrinkled fabric in this photo. That's why I guess it looks off because, that Keaton had no physique, and not that I'm one to talk, but that was what was cool about the original costume. It gave him those plastic muscles, and he looked imposing in the suit, and it was all black. So
let me get the other picture.
But yeah, so he looked scarier in that and the way they filmed it too. Like you didn't see it all the time. So until they kind of hit it and they used the cape to go around him, and the yellow target did draw you to his chest. So, and the cowl was just so good too with the ears.
It looks like a stunt man right there.
Yeah, it could be. That almost looks like it's drawn in almost. Yeah.
Batman's abs, a wrinkled fabric in this costume. Yeah, I don't know what I think about it. The cowl's okay, I guess.
Well, you think about
it, still looks better than that stupid sparkly bat outfit. I'll tell you that. I think.
Yeah, when you think about it, the original was a ridiculous suit too, because he's like, why would you have a mold, a six pack?
Oh yeah,
under your...
I didn't like that movie.
And we grow to love, then you end up growing to love the movie and love the.
The '89. I mean, I didn't like the costume in the '89 movie either that much.
Yeah, so it's like
Steve
I give
Mitchum
myself
has that costume. Steve Mitchum, if you're still here, what do you think of this costume? He's a big fan of that movie, but I don't know if he's still here right now.
Well, at least the Batman Returns, at least they toned down the muscles on it too. I think they made it look more, like an armor suit in the center. He didn't have a six pack in the center. He had more of like a armored look. So they kind of toned it down a little bit. So.
Decepticon? The answer, sir, never. Never. This is the question, of course, for those who are wondering.
Yep.
For heaven's sake, when in earthly hell will we have a gray and blue Batman suit? Never, buddy, because we want it too much.
Well, we did get the Spider-Man red and blue, finally, the actual real red and blue for a couple seconds. So.
Yeah, you take what you can get, man. But
yeah. Well, hopefully we'll be using that from now on. So.
Yep. You take what you can get, but you don't expect much.
Yep. Well, you don't want to have the black suit, right?
No.
It's a matter of time before they bring that. Well, of course, they kind of did bring that back in this movie a little bit in the Far From Home, but it wasn't exactly the Venom suit, thank God. But yeah.
Well, it's messed up, duder. What could you do?
Yep.
Well, I guess we probably kept everyone here way too late tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, it's about same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah, well,
tomorrow
we'll be here
night.
Tomorrow night. We'll be back tomorrow night. We'll have Raquel with us, folks.
Yep.
You don't have to,
you don't have to put up with us. You can hang out with her. Yep.
Show notes. But again, big shout out and thank you to the wonderful Abalamis Minion.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That must take forever to do. Is that like a kit you buy, or is that like, you have to do it from scratch? I mean, because you imagine if the time to get all the colors right and to make it look like that, and that's big too. I mean, God.
I don't know. You got me there. Cardinal Sin says, let's see, $20 super chat again. You're too kind, my friend. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. You're very generous. says, I'm sure I'm putting more nails in my Clobby coffin. Never, because you're a pal and you can put in all the nails you want, bro. You're going to be a buddy. But I really enjoyed Ronan. I liked. I'm nothing against Ronan. I know he's probably referring to Frank Miller's Ronan. Yeah, Frank Miller's Ronan. And I'm surprised it hasn't been made into a movie yet as Cyberpunk sells since it was created. You know, I got to tell you, Cardinal, I'm a little surprised by that myself. It wasn't quite the success that DC had hoped it would be at the time. That could be something to do with it, but I have nothing against it really either. So no, nothing. I have nothing against that, and I understand you. A lot of people like that comic, as it's a very popular comic book. So, hell, I hear you, bro. So,
and that on this picture you got up too. Did she do like it's clobbering time in the top right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I don't know if she took that off a screen like a screen.
Those are beads
thing.
too, or
yeah, the whole thing is.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
Like I say, I'm not sure how that goes.
Nice.
Hey, well, not one thing, Cardinal. We agree on all kind of stuff, dude. You would be surprised. In fact, if you want, one night we'll do a show where we list everything we agree on, and you probably say there's a bigger list of things we agree on than disagree on, Gil. You never know, but I think it probably is.
Does he think Deckard is a replicant? I can't remember.
I don't know. Oh, did you have to go there? Do not ignore what Mark D just said right now. Ignore it.
Oh, it's time to shut the show down. Yeah, don't go there. Yeah. It's like I was at work today and I threw in something about Paul. Dear. Everyone was leaving. I'm like, I'm just, I wanted to say hi, at the end, because then if you get into the chat too early, then then you get sucked in and had too much stuff to do. And then he's like, I just read a comment about Boba Fett. He's like, you can't do that to me now. We're closing the show.
I was there.
You were there. Yeah. I was laughing. I was like, sorry, Paul.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Foul, 15-yard penalty.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's not nice at all. Well, tomorrow night, folks, Clobby's Clubhouse. We'll be on same Clobby time, same Clobby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tomorrow, I will have I will have a new a new spinner rack video up, and then I'll have one up Friday as well. Nice. So, yeah, finally got that made. I'm only a week behind now. Not that anyone cares.
No,
and then, care. And again, I don't like when people pretend to care when they don't. Don't. I mean, even I don't care. So why should you? But anyway, tomorrow night, everyone, and then of course Saturday night, Star Trek is back. Same Trek time, same Trek channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Saturday night is all right for a fight.
And that first episode opens with a bang.
Bang! Someone gets banged. Oh, bang!
Boom.
Zoom. So anyway, thank you all, my good friends. What? Cardinal Sin has a Wesley shrine also? Is that true, Cardinal Sin?
He probably wants you to play that Wesley video now.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Just for you, the great bronze surfer Eric K. Before we get out of here, this is just for you.
You kids have certainly wound up all the loose ends in this case. Blasted meddling kids.
What? I wish she didn't have to go.
You can tell us, Cardinal, your secret will be safe with us, and the rest of the English speaking world, of course. Welcome. I mean, welcome, not welcome, unwelcome. You're all unwelcome. No, was it? I'm trying to be like, I can't do it the way Critical Drinker does. Cool way now, but I love him. He's great. Anyway, that's his thing. I couldn't steal from him anyway. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. The great bronze wrencher Eric K. and the great Chris Persia was here. The master of wrenching, the great Cardinal Sin. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for all of that. And everyone, of course, go to his channel and subscribe, and the channels of many other wonderful friends that were here. Let's see here.
A couple new people tonight, right?
All those wonderful new people. And I can't remember all the names, guys, but Oliver, thank you. Cavatino, Keely Chow, Roll Tide there. Kal-El, buddy, thank you so much. Pop Culture Republic, thank you so much. Who else was here? Hungry Boy Brother, really appreciate you. Thank you. It's always great to see you, buddy. Decepticon, good to see you, man. J-Man, buddy, appreciate you so much. Let's see here. And well, I can't see everybody who came in. Elagabelis came in. Pleasant Valley was here. We had a great crowd tonight, man.
A lot of people here tonight. Yeah, that's good.
Athena Follower was here. I think she had to go. Louise X Sparrow was here. What a group! Just amazing. Amazing group.
Snail Messiah.
Snail Messiah was here. Mr. Angel. Eric Carroll, hello there. Been lurking. Good to see you, Eric. I appreciate you. If I miss anyone, you all know. Look, just know this.
Snorty, did you say
Snorty?
Snorty
Was here. Snorty was here, right. Yep. Anybody else you can think of? Or?
Well, you said Athena. I'm trying to think. And, of course, Phantom, I'm sure you mentioned. And Cavatino.
Phantom, no, I didn't mention. Phantom Outsider was here. D-Bud was here earlier.
Hungry Boy, of course. My memory's so bad, I can't remember who you mentioned.
I know. So. I can't remember them all either. It's just I only write them down on Saturday nights. Everyone gets their shout out on Saturday nights. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. It's been a fantastic time. And a big thanks to my good pal and chief engineer, Mark D with a C. Thank you for hanging out, Duder.
Thank you for having me. Great time as usual.
Appreciate you. And as always, shout out to the great Stone Loki for this intro, outro. Good night, everyone. We hope to see you tomorrow night. And Clobberin, Clobberers.
Take care.
Shout out to Steve Mitchell.